Hello, hello, hello. Hi, lovely ladies. I am going through your emails, your texts that I have not seen in a couple of days. I'm glad you're feeling better, Annabelle. I'm having anxiety attacks because a little bit is gone. And I miss her, but I am getting a lot of rest. Love you, girls, and I'll talk to you soon. Hello. Welcome to the show. Now, I first was just going to do um Megan. And then I saw this clip on Donald Trump and found out that all hell is breaking loose. Hello, Demon Dictator. So I say we spend 30 minutes on Trump and then we move over to Demon Dictators. Um, where is that link, Demon Dictator? Oh, here it is. And I'm going to save it. Now, last night, okay. Okay, great. We're going to go over that video that you sent me to the WhatsApp, Demon Dictator. But can we go over this thing with Donald Trump real quick? No, I remember she came out with a statement. Her rep came out with a statement. But no, do you want to read the article? Or I can read it. I say we read the article when you have time to post it. Hello, welcome. My eyes are watery for some odd reason. Um, yes, I'm doing my live from another room. Let's just put it that way. And we're gonna get started. Give me a couple of minutes, and I will start the video regarding Donald Trump, and then we're gonna move over to Harry and Meghan about the book. I heard that we couldn't get the book here, pre-order the book, but you can in the UK. You can pre-order Tom Bauer's book, but you can't pre-order it in the United States. So it's not quite out yet. Wow, it's so good to see you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know yesterday um I had it off. This is a cute top. It is a really I just don't want to be showing my boobs. So, but it's a really cute top. Mm-hmm. Cutesy wootsy. Hello, 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 hello. I'm so glad to see you guys. Oh, wow. It just was last night. All right, here we go. I don't know why it's important to wait at least 5 minutes before, you know, Okay, so Sue Smith did a wonderful, wonderful video the other day, and it was great. Thank you, Sue Smith. Um, we are going to look at. Ooh, hold on. So, ooh. I was just thinking about my little girl.
Regarding Andrew.
She's with her mama. She's with her mama.
Has said that a new post-war frame.
Can you guys see that? Hello, Snowdrop. Hello, highly sensitive. Where's my bell? God, I can never find it. It's always missing in action. Bell. Oh, I don't know. What happened to the belly do? God, I can't keep up with nothing. Okay, I'm going to use sound effects. How about that? But I want to say hello to highly sensitive. Welcome. It is so good to see you. The book comes out next week. Whoa! The book comes out next week. So I wonder how we're going to do this because I have got to get into the book so we can talk about it, you know? Yes. Yes. Okay, hold on. Top fan is Demon Dictator. Second is Highly Sensitive, Snowdrop, and Lisa B. Hello, Adu. Please elevate the live widow like a do and hype. Yes, can do the article tomorrow. Play your stuff today. I'm going to play that video you sent me. Mhm. I'm going to play that video you sent me. It's 42 minutes, and we're going to play that. Okay, sounds wonderful, Snowdrop, a demon dictator. Thank you. What Snowdrop says, did you see about the company Meghan is speaking with in Australia has some shady dealings in filing for bankruptcy? Ooh, because Meghan is shady dealings. She's a shady dude. Okay, I'm not surprised. She doesn't vet her people. Do she, Snowdrop? Hello, Lisa B. Oh, I gotta get my bell. I feel lost without it. Yeah, it's like the you can ring my bell. Whoa. I have been a lazy BICTH since my daughter has left the building. I haven't done anything that I said I was going to do, like cleaning and stuff like that. I haven't done any of that stuff. I just been a big fat lazy bum. I got to get some stuff done, you know? I'm cooking dinner today though. I didn't cook dinner yesterday, but I'm cooking dinner today, guys. Ooh. Wow. Snowdrop said enough of work today. She's shutting it down. It's a done do. Yeah, she's with Mama, and Mommy misses her so much. I got some pictures of her, at Mama's house eating. Hi, sweetheart. Looking at her food. She was taking a nap, playing with her iPad, watching something on TV, taking pictures with Mama. Yes, I miss my little dove. I miss my little dove, but she's going somewhere today. Yes. I got it back. I got it back. Oh, and we're missing my music, Lady Letitia. Let's do it. If we're going to do it, let's do it right. Here we go. But you heard that one. I turned up the volume. Turn up the volume. Guys, I missed you guys, and it was just yesterday when I saw you. Does that make sense? That I missed you guys just from yesterday? Yeah, she's on spring break -a. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go. Let's get into the story. We're 15 minutes in. Let's go.
All hell is breaking loose as Donald Trump's disastrous and unlawful war in.
I love him. He's dramatic. All hell is breaking loose in Donald Trump's unlawful war. Okay? He makes sure he lets it be known that this war is unlawful. It is unlawful. I'm trying to get cozy wozy. Okay? I gotta get cozy wozy. It does. It raises up, but I don't have the remote. Back to the show. Oh, I feel like I'm laying down too far. Too far, too far. Better, 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 better. Yeah, you got to be cozy when you're doing this. Otherwise, it's not going to be fun for the content creator. Yes, yes, yes. Lady Letitia. All hell is breaking loose. Donald Trump's unlawful war.
All hell is breaking loose as Donald Trump's disastrous and unlawful war in Iran continues to escalate, engulfing the entire Middle East in absolute war. On the one hand, Iran is striking Bahrain and Dubai and central Israel, Tel Aviv, northern Israel. On the other hand, Israel's just demolishing Lebanon. I mean, southern Lebanon, Beirut, everything surrounding Beirut utterly destroyed. Buildings are being toppled in Iran, the United States, and Israel dropping weapons almost indiscriminately all over Iran. Iran keeps launching those ballistic missiles and those Shahid drones. And meanwhile, you have President Zelensky of Ukraine speaking before both houses in the UK Parliament, trying to explain, like, hello, we know how to shoot down these Shahid drones. We've also developed our own drones. We've developed sea drones. We've developed the most advanced drones that there are. Maybe you want to speak with Ukraine because we know
We
a
can help.
thing or two about modern warfare. Also, something I want to talk about in this video as
Wow.
well. NATO recently ran a simulation of all of the NATO assets versus Ukraine, with Ukraine's sea drones and its air drones and its FPVs, those first-person viewing drones that Ukraine uses. In all 5 simulations, Ukraine beats NATO. And what this tells you is modern warfare is all about drones and countering drones with the right types of interceptors. This should have been known to Donald Trump and his idiotic regime, but they were too busy trying to cozy up to Vladimir Putin, which frankly they're still doing right now, removing sanctions against Putin, while we know clearly in the Wall Street Journal again
I'm so sorry. I thought that was I thought that was demon dictator calling me. I do apologize. Hello, Lee. Is it Leah? Am I saying that correctly? And yet the war continues in Ukraine with all his big boy toy claims. Exactly. All hell is breaking loose. Listen to how he just burst out and
Continues
says
to
it.
escalate, engulfing the entire Middle East. All hell is breaking
All
loose as
hell
Donald
is
Trump's
breaking loose.
disastrous and unlawful war in Iran continues to escalate, engulfing the entire Middle East in absolute war. On the one hand, Iran is striking Bahrain and Dubai and central Israel, Tel Aviv, northern Israel. On the other hand, Israel's just demolishing Lebanon. I mean, southern Lebanon, Beirut, everything surrounding Beirut utterly destroyed. Buildings are being toppled in Iran, the
No
United
way.
States, and Israel dropping weapons almost indiscriminately all over
Oh my
Iran.
God.
Iran keeps launching those ballistic missiles.
Gee whiz. It's like a free for all. What is going on? There is people in these places. Don't forget that there's people.
And those Shahid drones. And meanwhile, you had President Zelensky of Ukraine speaking before both houses in the UK Parliament, trying to explain, like, hello, we know how to shoot down these Shahid drones. We've also developed our own drones. We've developed sea drones. We've developed the most advanced drones that there are. Maybe you want to speak with Ukraine because we know a thing or two about modern warfare. Also, something I want to talk about in this video as well. NATO recently ran a simulation of all of the NATO assets versus Ukraine, with Ukraine's sea drones and its air drones and its FPVs, those first-person viewing drones that Ukraine uses. In all 5 simulations, Ukraine beats NATO. And what this tells you is modern warfare is all about drones and countering drones with the right types of interceptors. This should have been known to Donald Trump and his idiotic regime, but they were too busy trying to cozy up to Vladimir Putin, which frankly they're still doing right now.
Why are we kissing Vladimir Putin's booty? Why are we his friend? Oh. Makes no sense. Let's keep going.
Removing sanctions against Putin, while we know clearly, in the Wall Street Journal again reported on this, that Putin is providing Iran with weapons, with intelligence, how to kill Americans, how to destroy American assets. And what does Donald Trump do in retaliation when he knows that Russia's working with Iran to destroy America? Donald Trump goes, let me lift those sanctions against Russia to allow Russia to send its oil to the rest of the world and make huge profits so it can then buy more weapons to give to Iran. And it could also focus on destroying Ukraine while Zelensky's trying to help. So let's break all of this down. When I say all hell is breaking loose, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm just describing what is happening. Watch what just happened in central Beirut in Lebanon after an Israeli airstrike. Israel's just demolishing entire buildings. They say they're going after Hezbollah, which they are targeting Hezbollah, but they're also targeting civilians, and they are killing people in hospitals, and mothers and children, and it is absolutely despicable. Here, play this clip.
Oh my God. Did you see that? Did you guys just see that? It just came tumbling down. Like, what did he
Absolutely
say?
despicable. Here, play this clip.
What Weren't there people in there? Jeez.
Here, play this clip.
Wait.
They say they're going after Hezbollah, which they are targeting Hezbollah, but they're also targeting civilians, and they are killing people in hospitals, and mothers and children, and it is absolutely despicable. Here, play this clip.
Oh my God, did you see that? That is not oil bases. That is a building with civilians. Oh, Jesus. And they're lying to us. This is crazy.
Loose. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm just describing what is happening.
Oh.
Watch what just happened in central Beirut in Lebanon after an Israeli airstrike. Israel's just demolishing entire buildings.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know what that was, what happened, why we just went kapook in the back. Just totally just did that to us. Now, I don't know if it's getting hot, but if it gets too hot, then I'm going to have to go in there and get out of my cozy spot. Because I was cozy. This is horrible. Oh my goodness. It is. It's just. I don't know what this computer is doing. I know, Dell. Keep in contact. People be asking about you and wondering where you are, girlfriend. It's good to see you. Oh, this is horrible. This is insane. This is sad. And then they're lying to us. Stop lying to me.
down. When I say all hell is breaking loose, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm just describing what is happening. Watch what just happened in central Beirut in Lebanon after an Israeli airstrike. Israel's just demolishing entire buildings. They say they're going after Hezbollah, which they are targeting Hezbollah, but they're also targeting civilians, and they are killing people in hospitals, and mothers and children, and it is absolutely despicable. Here, play this clip.
Oh!
Now let's talk about what's going on in other areas of the world.
What was that? You can't just
Flip.
show us that and then not talk about what you just showed us. What is a civilian building? Did people get unalived in that sucker? Like, what happened? Who did that and why? Come on. Was that even evacuated? That wasn't evacuated. Look at all these cars. It's like they targeted that building.
Now let's talk about what's going on in other areas of the world. In comments that interestingly align with those of French President Emmanuel Macron, as OSINT Defender explains, open source intelligence. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi has said that a new post-war framework for the Strait of Hormuz must be put into place. While it's yet unclear if Araghchi's comments were made in an effort to synchronize French-Iranian signaling, it nonetheless aligns with what France's president has said in the past few days amidst increasing communication between the two nations. Do you get what's happening here? There are bilateral discussions going on between France and Iran, between Italy and Iran, between Middle East nations and Iran. And what they're talking about is a new security framework for the Strait of Hormuz, i.e., without the United States being a leader in the area and focusing on bilateral relations where essentially Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz and you need to do one-off deals with Iran to pass the Strait of Hormuz. If you watch the ship traffic, and there's not that many ships going through the Strait of Hormuz, they are going very close to the shoreline of Iran. It seems like Iran's laid all of these mines in the Strait of Hormuz. And just a brief primer for those who just don't know what I'm talking about with the Strait of Hormuz. That's the Strait of the Persian Gulf. 20 to 30% of the gas that we receive, the oil, comes from that Strait of Hormuz. It passes through there. Iran's able to control it. Not just that, though, but fertilizers, agriculture, a lot goes through the Strait of Hormuz. So this has a huge impact. And when Iran shuts it down, which it does now, it has this massive impact on the global economy. And a lot of people who are feeling the brunt of it are these Arab nations that thought they were doing quid pro quos or pay for plays with Donald Trump and Kushner. And they're like, we paid you, but where's the play part? Like, we are paying you to protect us, not to screw us over. Take a listen to what the Times is reporting. Despite a $500 million investment by senior
Snowdrop, if you have an update
UAE officials in a Trump.
If you have an update on Candace's lawsuit, please let us know. I will play that.
Linked crypto company, let's just call it what it is, a bribe.
No, this isn't fun. This isn't a fun subject. It isn't something that we normally talk about, but it is happening. It's happening. And we need to be aware of it because the United States is involved. We're involved. And we need to be on red alert. Okay? Yeah. Wow. Word on the curb. You can't hear me? Snowdrop, do you hear the fan in the back? Because I can turn it off. You guys can't hear me? Hello, Kamori. What bald man? Oh, Candace is missing in action. Mm, that's interesting. Yeah, we started it. Okay, yeah, that's a fact. That's factual. Okay, that sounds good. Now I have to pick up a little bit on Friday. So it's going to be a little tricky. Friday is the day I pick up a little bit. Kamari. Okay, good. And I was gonna say, Kamari, do we it's date night. Maybe we'll do like date trivia, dating questions for date night. We need like something to do, Kamari. So maybe we can do dating trivia. We started it. We started it. Oh, she gave up on them? Oh, wow. She's going after Erica Kirk. Candace is. Yeah, we can do. I think my husband said we were going to go pick up a little bit at around 10 or noon. But I will keep you posted, Kamari, because I don't know what time I'm going to get a little bit. But don't wait on me, because what I was going to do is, because you have StreamYard, I can stream it from my place too. So what I'll do is I'll come up on your platform, and then we can be up there together. I was going to do like some trivia questions. Does that sound about? Yeah. Okay, good. And if you want to come up with some dating questions, that would be good too. And this is going to be for fun. So guys, we're having date night, and we're going to have some date questions, trivia questions, and we're going to hang out and have fun. But I may want to do this before. It may be not date night, but it may be a little. The time zone may change, Kamari, because I want to do it before I go get my daughter. So we may have to do it around. Yeah, around 10 or 11 in the morning. Think about that, Kamari. No, I didn't see that. Do we need to go get the video? And why would she do that? Go get the link, Dell.
Gulf states still receive no warning about the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran, reinforcing a sense of unequal treatment. Although the so-called Abraham Accords were meant to ease tensions, resentment is growing, especially as Gulf countries feel far less protected. A young professional summed up the frustration bluntly. So Israel gets an Iron Dome, and we, the Arab nations, get FUCKED. Now, let me just show you this because I think this highlights how the entire world is feeling right now about the United States. Take a look as CNN drops a massive reality check, as Furkan Guzkara describes it. Favorable views of the U.S. have plummeted by a staggering 79% globally since the war in Iran started. The world is completely rejecting Washington's warmongering and refusing to support the Trump regime. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, okay. So you see these numbers, you see these shifts down in terms of how our allies or folks in those countries view U.S. military action in the Middle East. You see how unpopular it is this time around. Canada, Japan, the UK. And this is just part of a larger picture, Mr. Berman, a larger picture. Favorable view of the U.S. in 2025 versus 2024. Of course, Donald Trump being the president in 2025, Joe Biden being the president of the United States in 2024. Look at this. Favorable view of the U.S. down 79% of 24 countries' residents asked. The bottom line is this. The folks overseas are far less likely to view the U.S. favorably, and those chickens, they're coming home to roost in this situation, as there's very little support abroad for the U.S. military action in Iran.
Now, you also know that earlier yesterday morning, Donald Trump, like the little petulant baby that he is, started posting that the U.S. no longer needs or desires help from NATO nations and any other allies or partners. We don't need Japan, South Korea, and Australia, Donald Trump says. I'm not surprised by their action. Now we're being informed by most of our so-called NATO allies that they don't want to get involved with our military operation against the terrorist regime of Iran in the Middle East. This despite the fact that almost every country strongly agreed with what we are doing. But Donald, over the weekend, didn't you say that all of these nations were supporting the United States? Didn't you say you brought this coalition together? Oh, wait a minute. You lie about everything. You lie about ceasefire discussions with Iran. Every word out of your mouth is a lie, and our allies or former allies just know that everything you say is just complete and utter nonsense and dangerous dribble at that.
Dangerous.
Lindsey Graham saying earlier today, I just spoke with Donald Trump about our European allies' unwillingness to provide assets to keep the Strait of Hormuz functioning, which benefits Europe far more than America. I have never heard him so angry in my life. I share that anger at what's at stake. All right. Well, oh my God. Are you angry? What are you going to do? Are you going to write a very mean tweet about it? What are you going to, you're going to be very angry? You're going to yell? Are you going to say mean words? Oh my, what are you going to do? You're going to drop some missiles, tough guy? You're going to start killing people? They're so utterly, all of you people are so utterly pathetic. By the way, yesterday, Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the UK made it clear we will not be drawn into a wider war here. Play this clip of what Starmer said. Play it.
Second, while taking the necessary action to defend ourselves and our allies, we will not be drawn into the wider war.
And then over here, Keir Starmer in his podcast, his what do they call it? Fireside chats, if you will, with Keir, as he calls it. He basically says what we're focused on is de-escalation and trying to reach a settlement and resolution over what's going on. I mean, whether it's the UK, whether it's France, whether it's Italy, they want this thing resolved and de-escalated while Donald Trump's out there, teasing cliffhangers like this is like season 3 of like the OC or something. Like, ooh, what's going to happen on next season? Are we going to send those 5,000 Marine Expeditionary Unit forces that are heading from Japan to the Strait of Hormuz? Ooh, are we going to do a full-fledged ground invasion in Iran? Ooh, what is Netanyahu going to tell Donald Trump next? Ooh, what's going to happen? Watch what Keir Starmer says.
Whether it's conflict in the region, whether it's the impact on oil and gas, or just the worry that most people have about how's this going to impact me in my home, the best way to reduce the impact is to de-escalate, to get to the end of hostilities, and then get to a negotiated settlement. And we're speaking to all of our allies to try and make sure that that happens as quickly as possible.
Let me tell you, if there's a surefire way to wake up feeling fresh after drinks with friends, it's with pre-alcohol. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic Drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into zbiotics.com
Oval
Midas and use the code Midas at checkout for 15% off.
By the way, then yesterday in the Oval Office, Donald Trump brought in the Prime Minister of Ireland, the Taoiseach of Ireland, if you will. And Donald Trump just starts bashing Keir Starmer in the Oval Office. And the Prime Minister of Ireland has to like push back and be like, you don't really know your history, Donald. Like, we take a little bit of a different view, and your perspective is based on our history. Watch what the Prime Minister of Ireland says. And I think Donald Trump didn't realize that Ireland has a Prime Minister and a President, by the way. But here, play this clip.
You know who that is? Churchill. That's the late, great Winston Churchill. And Barack Hussein Obama did not want his bust in this office. Did you know that? And Barack Hussein Obama sent that bust back to England. They didn't want it. And when I came in, I was asked if I wanted it. I said, absolutely, I want it. And I put it right there, Winston Churchill. And, you know, unfortunately, Keir is not Winston Churchill.
Look at all this gold. Look at the chairs. Look at the walls. Look at that. Look at all the gold. Oh, that's not very nice to say, Wolf. Fact checked, and only 43% is accurate, but still much better than Fox, who is at 17% accurate. And don't listen to propaganda networks like Fox. Lemonex. I've never even heard of those. Who lost defamation lawsuits. Wow. Thank you, Darren. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to, what was it? Draft? He did? Wow. I pulled her up, so I just wanted to see if you guys saw that go.
No, hold it. Right. Just could I hold it? Hold it. Just make a number of points. First of all, I think, notwithstanding.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
No, hold it. Right. Just could I hold it? Hold it. Just make a number of points. First of all, I think, notwithstanding what has happened, the transatlantic relationship between Europe and the US is very, very important on a number of fronts. And I think we've had issues over the last year or two, but we settled them. And I think many of these leaders engaged with you, particularly on trade initially. Remember all the fuss last year, but we got a landing zone between Europe and the US, and I think we can get a landing zone again. And I think I just met with Keir Starmer last week. The British-Irish relationship was a very important one. Churchill was a great wartime leader, although in Ireland there was kind of a different perspective in terms of during our own war of independence and so on. He created his own bit of difficulties for us. But that said, he was a great wartime hero. Keir Starmer has done a lot to reset the Irish-British relationship. I just want to put that on the record. But I do believe that he's a very earnest, sound person who I think you have a capacity to get on with. You've got on with him before, and you've got on with other European leaders as well.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, there was a NATO naval exercise where the Ukraine-led forces defeated the NATO fleet using sea drones versus all the NATO ships. Right? Think about it. The NATO has all of the top ships, everything. And in the simulations, Ukraine won 5 out of 5 scenarios. They sank all the frigates in the simulation. NATO forces never even detected the Ukrainian drones. And folks, this is really important. And it's important to note, why do you think, for a variety of reasons, why Russia is sharing satellite imagery and drone technology and weapons with Iran? Because Russia knows that it's getting its ass kicked from Ukraine right now. And Donald Trump is throwing Russia a lifeline right now, both in terms of economically by lifting the oil sanctions against Russia, allowing it to sell oil at like hugely inflated prices now. What's a barrel of oil now? 103, 105. I mean, that's heading up to $150 per barrel soon. Just watch. Right now it's at $103 per barrel. You know what you're paying. It's over $5 for diesel. It's approaching $4 on average, right? Just across the country to fill up your own car with gas. So Russia is hugely benefiting from this. And also Russia knows that if it can bog down the U.S. here, they could try to siphon resources away from Ukraine. And Russia wants to destroy the United States. That's Russia's goal. While Donald Trump wants like selfies with Putin. It's so freaking bizarre. So that's what Russia's doing. So Zelensky spoke in Parliament in the UK, and he addressed both houses. This was one of the most powerful speeches I've seen. Here's what Zelensky talks about, how he's educating NATO. So over there you have him, you have Starmer, and then you have the Secretary General of NATO. All of them are there together. And then he's speaking in front of both houses in the UK Parliament. And Zelensky is like, let me explain to you how modern defense works. Watch this. He goes, we must go further. We must build modern defense forces. Isn't it incredible how Ukraine, through its ingenuity and innovation, basically has the most powerful army in the entire world right now? Let me repeat that again. In my opinion, Ukraine right now has the most powerful military in the world, based on its technological innovations, its understanding of drones, its understanding of drone interceptors, its understanding of how to deal with Shaheeds. They have the most advanced. Now, they need resources, they need money, they need equipment because they're under attack, right? They need the support. But in terms of the knowledge and the ability to execute, there's just no one out there, no country out there that knows more than Ukraine. Here, play this clip.
We must go for them. We must build modern defense forces together. Only together with you, with all our allies in Europe, we must produce all levels of air defense against drones and all types of missiles, including ballistic. Our seas must be secure, and our forces in other seas must be protected from all threats. Europe not only has this potential, it also has a mission to protect not only itself, but what it believes in. We believe in people, in their rights and freedom. We believe in culture, and we want nations to live in real peace, strong peace, and communities in respect. Together, Europe is a global force, one of the world cannot do without, and that no one can stand against. We must grow this strength, and we can do it, and we must direct it, and we can.
And then Zelensky talks about how they start.
Of course. course, Donald Trump cut it off. He doesn't like Zelensky, which is weird because he's one of our allies. It's weird, but he liked Putin. It's backwards.
Started off with these simple kamikaze drones, but then they built drones with turrets that can shoot down helicopters. Watch how he describes the innovation. This is quite incredible. Here, play this clip.
We started with simple kamikaze drones, then we built drones with
he needs
turrets that can shoot down helicopters.
He does need the help. He does need the help to fight against this enemy. And that's why Joe Biden was giving him money.
Now we have drones that can shoot down Russian fighter jets from the sea. We have developed boats that carry other drones. We also have boats that strike targets on land from the sea. And we are developing more stable drones that can operate longer and more effectively at sea. Soon, and not in the distant future, we will have systems that can operate even in ocean conditions. We are also effectively working on underwater systems. So facing threats in the Black Sea, we are finding the right security solutions. And these solutions can be used in your matters as well, including in complex situations like the Strait of Hormuz today. Drones can solve problems that even a fleet sometimes cannot.
Then he talks about the ability to churn these out. 2,000 effective and combat-proven interceptors every single day. 2,000 a day. Here, play this clip right here.
First, we are capable of producing at least 2,000 effective and combat-proven interceptors every day. We can produce more. It depends on investment. We need about 1,000 interceptors a day, and we can supply at least another 1,000 a day to our allies. Second, we know how to build radar and acoustic coverage to respond to how Shaheeds and other drones approach. Third, we have software that allows radars to keep working even under electronic warfare, jamming in real time. We analyze enemy frequencies and respond to them.
Wow.
And because of this system,
what we can do with our enemies, Zelensky, don't tell them what we can do. I mean, you don't need to prove anything to the United States because Donald Trump is not listening. He's in La La Land. Yep. Is that who is he talking to? I like him. I cannot say your name, sweetheart. So I'm going to call you me. Sue me. Okay? Sue me. Unless you want me to call you something else. Why are you calling him names? Yacht. Oh. Hi, Michelle. He is not a creepy dude. He is a person that is fighting for his country. And he's got these Russian people coming in there, attacking him.
We understand how effective our defense is against almost every attack drones. And we can move our positions and air defense to get better results. This iPad gives full control of the situation because we have a system for using our defense tools. If a Shaheed needs to be stopped in Emirates, we can do it. If it needs to be stopped in Europe or United Kingdom, we can do it. It's a matter of technology, investment, and cooperation. And the fact that we go through this winter, which Russia tried to make deadly for all our families, shows that our solutions work.
All right, so there you have it, folks. What I really want to do with these videos is give you the perspectives that you're not hearing on corporate news.
Hello.
Like, are you watching Zelensky's UK
I
Parliament speech
heard that.
anywhere else, and then seeing what's really happening in Beirut?
What's really
By the way,
happening?
more people were killed in Gaza in the past 24 hours, and innocent children and mothers being killed again in Gaza. There was never a ceasefire there. Remember, we've always been, from the outset, we said, everyone's saying a ceasefire. There's been no ceasefire there. I want to make sure we're covering the complexity of what's happening in the Middle East. Every country, we go into the city, go into details that you're not hearing that I don't think you're hearing in a lot of other places. I don't want to say anywhere else, but not in a lot of other places that synthesize it like this. It's very important for us to bring you that information here. So hit subscribe, help us get to 7 million subscribers, and thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.
Finally, Democrats are ripping Donald Trump to shreds like he deserves. Deliver that karma to him. Finally, Democrats on Capitol Hill calling Donald Trump out for his disastrous war in Iran. The Midas Touch Network, as you know, has a Washington, D.C. bureau, so we were able to speak with a lot of members of Congress. We spoke with Democratic Congress members. Hey, we even reached out to some MAGA Republican Congress members who usually respond to us by saying, I don't know what Donald Trump's saying. I didn't hear that. I didn't see that. We'll show you that in a moment. But let me show you some of these Democrats forcefully ripping Donald Trump to shreds, putting in the dagger like Donald Trump deserves. First, we have veteran Democratic Congress member Ryan from New York. Here he is calling Trump and Pete Hegseth. Their behavior is like an SNL skit, except it isn't parody because people are dying as a result of these fools. Play this clip.
How embarrassing at this point is Pete Hegseth? We've been watching some of his press conferences. The guy sounds nutty.
I mean, Hegseth has literally become more deranged than the SNL skits at this point. And it would be funny if he wasn't literally killing American soldiers. And so for him to stand up there, you see each time he screws up and we screw up and we lose Americans, he gets more desperate and he screams louder and he just shows his weakness. He's fucking pathetic at this point, and he has the blood of now 13 Americans on his hands, and he needs to be held accountable for that. I actually started a website called firehegseth.com, and everybody upset about this war should go right now and sign up for that because we need to fire Pete Hegseth.
More from Congress member Ryan right here. Play this clip.
So, Congressman, what do you make of NATO?
We need to fire Pete Hegseth.
More from...
And everybody upset.
Did you hear the website? I'm just rewinding it, so just in case you guys want to sign up for the, sign up for the petition.
At this point, and he has the blood of now 13 Americans on his hands, and he needs to be held accountable for that. I actually started a website called firehegseth.com, and everybody upset about this war should go right now and sign up for that because we need to fire Pete Hegseth.
More from Congress member Ryan right here. Play this clip.
So, Congressman, what do you make of NATO?
Really killing American soldiers, and so for him to stand up there, you see each time he screws up and we screw up and we lose Americans, he gets more desperate and he screams louder and he just shows his weakness. He's fucking pathetic at this point, and he has the blood of now 13 Americans on his hands, and he needs to be held accountable for that. I actually started a website called Firehegseth, really killing American soldiers. And so for him to stand up there, you see each time he screws up and we screw up and we lose Americans, he gets more desperate and he screams louder and he just shows his weakness. He is fucking pathetic at this point, and he has the blood of now 13 Americans on his hands, and he needs to be held accountable for that. I actually started a website called firehegseth.com, and everybody upset about this war should go right now and sign up for that, because we need to fire Pete Hegseth.
More from Congressmember Ryan right here. Play this clip.
So, Congressman, what do you make of NATO, kind of not backing up Trump in this crazy war that we're in?
Well, this is a war that we shouldn't have started. It's a war where now 13 Americans are lost. A war where, oil prices are going up, cost of everything's going up, and the president spent years shitting all over our allies and then doesn't consult them before this war, doesn't consult the American people before this war, and now he expects them to come to our assistance. And it just shows what a failure of leadership by Trump in this matter. So
we show you what Democratic Congresswoman Omar had to say to our crew on Capitol Hill on the steps. Shout out Pablo Manriquez for getting this interview. Play this clip.
Pathetic as Pete Hegseth at this point. We've been watching his press conferences. He's saying all these crazy things. Honestly,
I mean, what can you say? He's always been pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
It pains me as a Minnesotan that that's the person that we have in the administration, and I just hope he gets replaced, because he's an embarrassment on a national, international stage for us.
More from Congresswoman Omar. Play this clip.
Any comment on NATO rejecting Donald Trump's crazy overtures to join this endless war?
Well, it was expected. This is a war that they didn't plan for. They didn't talk to our allies beforehand. And after you enter a war of choice to beg for help, it's actually pretty pathetic and embarrassing.
Then we had the opportunity to speak with Democratic Congress member Walkinshaw from Virginia. Here's what he told us. Let's play it.
How embarrassing is Pete Hegseth at this point? Like, just his press conferences have been kind of alarming.
Not just the press conferences. I see Pete Hegseth in classified briefings, and I'm embarrassed for him. He can do nothing beyond read the script that's given him. He can't answer detailed questions. He doesn't understand the strategy, not that there is one. He doesn't understand the tactical or operational questions. He is in way the hell over his head.
More from Congress member Walkinshaw here. Let's play it.
What do you make of NATO not supporting, these crazy overtures from Trump?
Well, that's what happens when you don't consult with anyone. You don't try to build any kind of coalition to launch your reckless, illegal war. And look, they can recognize it's a complete disaster. Predictably, Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz. We have no real way to reopen it. Gas prices are skyrocketing. It's disrupting the economy here, the economy of our allies. Nobody wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's what Donald Trump has done.
Let's go back to that interview with Pablo Manriquez, our Capitol Hill reporter, on the steps of the Capitol building with Democratic Congresswoman Omar. Play this clip.
How much of a liability at this point is Israel to U.S. foreign policy, given that they were coordinating with Israel but not our NATO?
They have been a liability to us for decades, not only doing the getting us involved in Iraq war, starting the whole mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction conversation. And obviously right now, with the Trump official resigning, it's pretty clear.
Although you can have your own opinion, she is not an evil witch. That is so mean. Happened.
Finally, Democrats are ripping Donald Trump to
Strait of Hormuz. We have no real way to reopen it. Gas prices are skyrocketing. It's disrupting the economy here, the economy of our allies. Nobody wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's what Donald Trump has done.
Let's go back to that interview with Pablo Manriquez, our Capitol Hill reporter, on the steps of the Capitol building with Democratic Congresswoman Omar. Play this clip.
How much of a liability at this point is Israel to U.S. foreign policy, given that they were coordinating with Israel but not our NATO
They have been a liability to us for decades. Not only doing the getting us involved in Iraq war, starting the whole mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction conversation, and obviously right now with the Trump official resigning, it's pretty clear that it was Israel that really wanted this war, and it's unfortunate that American service members, our sons and daughters, are dying on behalf of Israel.
Now, remember earlier in the video where I told you the MAGAs, when we catch up with them, they're usually like, we don't know what Donald Trump said. We don't listen to anything. We don't know anything at all about anything. Well, we caught up with MAGA Republican Congress member Burchett. Pablo Manriquez said, so what do you make of Donald Trump fundraising off of the dignified transfer as American soldiers are returning from Donald Trump's disastrous war in Iran with coffins draped with the American flag? Donald Trump is wearing a campaign hat, refusing to remove said campaign hat, posing for photographs in front of coffins of the bodies of our soldiers who were killed in the war. And then Donald Trump is using those photographs to raise money for himself. What do you make of it, Tim Burchett? Let's tell us. Here, play this clip.
So what do you make of Donald Trump using the dignified transfer to fundraise? He's sending fundraising emails about it.
I haven't seen that, so I don't know to comment on that.
All right. Back to Democratic Congress member Walkinshaw. Here's what he had to tell our crew, the Midas crew, in the Capitol building. Let's play it.
Has Israel at this point become a liability to U.S. foreign policy?
Well, look, U.S. foreign policy needs to be based on what's in the best interests of the American people. And I have real concerns about Prime Minister Netanyahu and his relationship with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's easy to manipulate. Netanyahu's not the only foreign leader who's been able to manipulate him.
And then the rising star in the Democratic Party. She is a star. A rising star doesn't do it justice. Democratic Congresswoman Ansari. She spoke with Pablo Manriquez, and boom, mic drop. Play this clip.
How pathetic at this point is Pete Hegseth? We've been watching some of his press conferences, and it's hard not to laugh at him from behind the podium if it wasn't such a serious situation, you know?
I could not agree with you more. Pete Hegseth is a joke. Pete Hegseth was a Fox News anchor. He is completely out of his depth, arguably more than anybody else in this administration. I think he needs to be fired or impeached immediately. He is putting countless American lives in danger, and he thinks this is a video game. He literally is focused on just being this hot shot in the Department of War, and it is a matter of life or death for so many people in this country. It's unacceptable. It's disgusting.
More from Congresswoman Ansari here. Another powerful moment. Boom, mic drop. Play this clip.
What do you make of NATO refusing to cow to Donald Trump's crazy overtures about joining this endless war?
I think Donald Trump has never presented a justification to the American people about why he has embarked upon an illegal and highly reckless war that has already resulted in thousands of civilian deaths, not just in Iran, but in Lebanon, across the region, has left Americans stranded in the Middle East with no help from the State Department. He has not ruled out troops on the ground. 5,000 American troops are on their way to the Middle East. Americans don't want their sons and daughters dying in war. And as it relates to NATO, he has consistently offended and betrayed our allies in NATO. And so the expectation that NATO would now support his reckless endeavors is unbelievable.
And then, you saw what Donald Trump was doing all day, right? Just utterly deranged. He was attacking NATO. And he was like, we don't need you, NATO anymore. We don't like NATO.
This is a reckless war by our president that he started, and then he insults NATO and wants NATO's help. And NATO's like, you didn't involve us, first of all, in what you were doing in the beginning with this war. And now you want us to fight in a war that you created? No, hold up, wait a minute. We need some intelligence about this stuff. We need to know what your plans are. First of all, what you're doing over there. Like, it's just not making sense. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, I don't know. My eyes got really red, guys. So I took myself off of the here, let me hit play.
Oh, NATO's never good to us, but if you really wanted to help us in the Strait of Hormuz, we'd really actually like your help. I mean, you all realize the oil supply shock, the worst in history right now. I know a lot of people are paying attention to oil. We should also be talking about fertilizer and a lot of other things that need to be exported from the Middle East, which run through the Strait of Hormuz, which are effectively shut down right now. Food supply internationally getting absolutely crushed, world economic markets being rattled. Donald Trump saying earlier today he's not ruling out boots on the ground to invade the Strait of Hormuz, although apparently Trump and Lindsey Graham.
Nick, very good point. Very good point. I put a star by Nick's comment. Please take a look at it. Now that the Americans have started this war, because we have, I hope you don't just walk away and leave and run in a we can put spiteful and the capability to hurt those in the region. Hi. Hello, Libby. I hope I'm saying that right. Yes. Don't forget, guys, I have a goal to meet today. If you're feeling like you're enjoying the live, please, please, please don't forget about the super chats and super stickers. They're available. But you know what? If you don't have that, guess what? You can hit that like button for free. Yes, you can. It's free and it pushes me into the algorithm of other places. Isn't that cool? And please don't forget to hit subscribe. That really helps me out. My numbers have been going up tremendously. Like I've gotten like 70 new subscribers. We think we can get I gotta get that because that's a little bit. I'm gonna let you listen to the sky while I talk to a little bit, okay? Hello, Maureen. It's so good to see you. Okay, just a sec. Yeah, people start riding bicycles again. It's hard to ride a bicycle here, Michelle Lee. We wouldn't get to where we need to get. Or like me picking up my daughter. Maybe I'll start walking to pick her up from school. It's okay, Dale. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let me do this. Let me. I want to see my little baby.
I'm going to pick up the baskets. Oh, the Easter baskets. Yeah, the Easter baskets. I got to meet.
Oh, yeah, I need to pay you. I think I did. Did she tell you how much?
She said $150.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, Father was trying to do something for Easter. I told her I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Okay, so Nisi, I'll send you $220.
No records. No records.
Send you about 200.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Forward to your mom. Say hi to my.
Hi, baby.
You miss her, Tisha. Oh.
I do. I miss my little pumpkin Doolittle.
Are you getting some rest?
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be cleaning and getting the house together and stuff like that. But no, I'm actually on a live right
and
now.
Netanyahu and Mark Levin and this whole crew of, I don't even want to call them neocons, because the neocons compared to this crew.
I look too bad, child.
No, they can hear you.
Oh, can they?
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
So that's Denise. She says hello. And Kara, you want to say hi?
Kara, you want to say hi? Say hi.
Oh, did Mama braid her hair? You let her do it?
I got her frozen. She wanted a braid like Frozen. Don't turn around and thank you, Kara.
Oh.
I gotta go.
Is that like Frozen? Oh. I like it.
You want like mommy?
Like the movie?
You want to go to the movies? Okay, when you go to the movies when you get home, we'll probably go to the park tomorrow and go to McDonald's.
Okay, I wanted to take her to see Disney on Ice. I mentioned that to Eric. So I really would like to take her there.
Okay, she would love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take her tomorrow around about 12. We're going to go to the park.
Okay.
And after that, we'll probably go back to McDonald's and get her some nuggets.
Some chicken nuggets. Oh, okay. She'll like that.
That's on tomorrow's agenda. Today, at 4 o'clock, we're going so she can practice with the play.
Right. She's going to be.
And then after that, we're going to stop at the vending machine and get her a Sprite.
She's going to like that. The braid is so pretty.
Yeah, so that's our little agenda for today. So we were just checking in. We ain't doing nothing. I'm going to have to get her off the iPad so she can have some juice so when we go downstairs to have something to do. But we're not going to be there long. We're only going to be there for about 30 to 40 minutes. It's not that long.
Okay.
All right, so we'll check back with you later.
Okay, love you, Mom.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well,
Oh. My mom wanted to tell you guys hello as well. Okay? That was my mom. She was giving me an update on Kira, and she's having fun, and they have an agenda. So I got to find out what's going on with my little bit at Mama's house.
were like, oh, they're neocons. I mean, this new crew is just freaking maniacal. But they're like, that's not boots on the ground when you send them to the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, it is. And by the way, did you all see just what was going on in the Middle East? More strikes against the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, more strikes by Iran of the Arab neighbors where there are American interests. I mean, things are escalating right now. They ain't getting lighter. We know that. Anyway, here's what Donald Trump was saying. I played a lot of his events today, so here's what his big focus, though, was on. With everything going on, he's like, we're going to have the Irish Open at Trump Properties, because he's standing there with basically the Prime Minister of Ireland. And Donald Trump's like, hey, look, I'm not telling you that we should definitely be getting preferential treatment for Trump golf courses, but you should give us preferential treatment. I mean, watch how pathetic this is. And by the way, this is like the Prime Minister who's there. The President of Ireland calls Donald Trump like a war criminal. She says she goes all in. Just watch what Donald Trump was saying here, though. Play this clip.
I love Ireland. In fact, we're going to have the Irish Open at a property that happens to be owned by yours truly, but I have nothing to do with it. I own it, but I don't even like to talk to my son. He says, Dad, we're doing great with I'm allowed to run it, but I don't choose to. Dad, we're doing great. Eric calls up. He's doing a good job. Do you like Eric? I think so, right? Who doesn't like Eric? But he calls up, Dad, we're doing a great job in Ireland. What's going on? Well, we're doing this. And I said, don't tell me about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. Of course, if we were treated badly, I'd let him know very quickly. But I think you are very proud of what's been done over there by the Trump organization, right?
And then Donald Trump's like, everything is going great. Everything is going beautiful right now here in Iran. Just as we expected here.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Greetings. My opinion is that the United States government is attempting to implement new forms and systems of control because of the long-awaited rise of the people from the sleep spell. Can you elaborate a little bit more? Oh, Maureen, thank you so much for my super chat. Oh, let me get my bell. Maureen, thank you for my super chat. Maureen, you're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you, Maureen, for my super chat. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super sticker, and I also appreciate what you had to say, because it's hard up here, and I don't know if I'm pleasing you guys or not, but we're gonna move on, and I want to talk about Meghan's situation. But I did bring up Lauren, the insider, but before we get to there, I would like for my lovely, lovely subscribers to put some lovely fans and some hearts in the chat for Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. Please put some hearts and some fanadoos in the chat for Maureen. I'm trying. Hello, Diane. It's so good to see you. Ben 10. Is that this gentleman's name? I just go by the media. Hi, Denise. Hello, Nick. What is Ben 10? Can we put some hearts in the chat for Marine for me? I would really appreciate it.
Play this clip.
I just do want to say that the war is proceeding very, very strongly. We're doing very, very.
I thought it wasn't a war. At first he said it was not a war. Now he's saying there is a war. Which one? The other day he said Iran's in a war, but we're not in a war. But now he's saying that the war is going well. No, it's not going well, Donald Trump. I've never heard of a war going well, being perfect.
Very well. Iran, knocking the hell out of them, and you have to do that. We can't let them have a nuclear weapon. They were 2 weeks away in my.
Who talks like that? What president talks like that? We're knocking the hell out of them? That's what he said. Hello? He said knocking the hell out of them. Thank you so much, Edwards. Thank you. And thank you, Lisa B. I appreciate that. And thank you, Marine. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. I really, truly am. My husband was like, you know, you never know what could happen, that I might be able to just work from home doing this full time without having to go and get a second job. But because I have to pay for Kara's activities, I have to pay for her. Like, she's gonna start swimming again. So I got to get the pool together. Just trying to get her ready and keep her busy, you know? Keeping your child busy is important. Because she hasn't been busy. She's just been going to school and coming home. So I really need to get her into some activities.
Opinion, 2 weeks away from having a nuclear weapon.
That is so not true.
Those beautiful, magnificent machines, those B-2 bombers, if they didn't do their job 7 or 8 months ago, they would have had a nuclear weapon, and there would have been no talking to them, no talking at all.
Well, there you have it, folks. We're going to keep you posted every step of the way here on the Midas Touch Network. And don't sleep on that really big development. I mean, this right-wing extremist who's, you know, a big ultra MAGA guy who Donald Trump praised, Joseph Kent. He resigned from his position as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. I mean, this guy, far extreme, right-wing nut job. He did serve 11 combat tours, you know, which, you know, you do have to appreciate his service, at least to our country. Although he came back and he said some of the most hateful things. His wife tragically passed away in a combat zone. He's a Gold Star husband. He's ultra MAGA. And he's saying he had to resign because he's like, I don't support this war in Iran. His resignation post so far has over 74 million views on Twitter already, which is X now. They used to call it Twitter. I mean, you're just seeing so many MAGA people saying, we're done. We're out. We are out of this Trump cult. Well, hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Love this video? Support independent media.
Okay, I know. We're moving on. I just want to see this real quick. Music will get me in trouble.
craziness in their world that also involves their son, their very young son. And that's why law enforcement has now gotten involved, because both of them, one thing we know for sure, they got into at least one and maybe two physical fights.
There have been more,
but
They're
there are
physically fighting
recently,
each other.
and there are different versions depending on which of them you talk to.
So let's lay this out. So we got on the phone yesterday and we spoke to people.
This is entertainment news, but we need to get to Meghan. Okay? We're moving to Meghan. I keep talking about it. We're gonna do it. Here we go. Boom, dada boom. I'm gonna leave this. Oh, let's go over here to Lauren. What did you guys want to see over here with Lauren? Some of you said you liked her. Some of you said you didn't. What did she do? World crisis. King Charles exposed inside his obsession with Islam. Okay, I don't get that. Risky life inside Meghan Markle's toxic demands.
Two petulant toddlers having a tantrum, lashing out in the public. It's everyone else's fault. King Charles coming down hard on Prince William, no Chucky boy. And assassination. Yes, you heard me correctly. Prince Harry risked assassination by coming to the UK and allegedly mixing with the public. And what was behind his trip last September? We have got so much to cover today in today's episode. It is jam-packed because just when you think Prince Harry and Meghan Markle cannot get any more deluded, they only do it, don't they? They are the gift that keeps on giving. But it's got to stop because this is being enabled, supported and protected, in my opinion, by the palace. Let's get down to it. As always, do your own research. Right. Okay, so Tom Bower's book is going to be the nightmare of all nightmares for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Obviously, we know from the off they're trying to discredit Tom Bower. You know, that Tom Bower that has an incredible track record, that is meticulous, thorough, does very, very extensive investigations and research. He's mad. I don't think he is mad. I think he's on the money. So we've seen Prince Harry and Meghan lash out and have a tantrum. But now the damning coverage is just continuing to come out. We've got press describing them as petulant toddlers. And we have Tom Bower's hugely revealing chapter about the security. So Prince Harry, in 2022, he risked assassination to come to the UK. And he did it all to help Meghan Markle sustain her brand. Take a pause. I know, there's not a brand. We all know that, but Meghan Markle still thinks that billionaire's dream is in sight, despite the fact she has ostracized and fallen out with every single person she's worked with. The staff are running for the hills. Netflix have dropped her, and she's just sat at home squeezing those little strawberries, putting those white labels on the jam pots. Or she's getting Prince Harry to record Insta stories of her arranging flowers. It's so funny, but actually, truly, I don't know how anyone can think that's a brand. But this is Meghan Markle all over. Entitled, not doing the work, not doing what Gwyneth Paltrow did, is she? Spending years learning a craft, becoming an expert in it, and then monetizing it. Oh no, wants to become an expert and monetize it overnight without putting the work in. So the first piece I need to bring you is, it's very, very interesting because it is the piece that, let's have a look at this, that Tom Bower has written about Prince Harry risking assassination to travel to the UK with Meghan Markle. So he says that he felt abandoned and that in September 2022, on a trip where Meghan gave a speech at the One Young World charity conference, just days before the trip, Harry is said to have complained about having been abandoned. And in an extract from the book, he was very stressed about the security, having been told the Home Office refused to provide armed protection in Manchester and London. But Bauer claims Harry still decided to risk assassination to help.
I saw that. It's like, are you needing clickbait? She's starting to make me not want to watch her. Let's move on. Okay, because I really would like to do the video that that you sent me. And while we're looking for the video, here's Funky Dineva.
Y'all hoes. I don't got in here early. Good morning. Good morning. I want all my at. Hey. I don't trick y'all hoes. I don't got in here early. Good morning. Good morning. I want all my at. Good morning. Hey, Nessa. Hey, Teresa. Hey, girl. You saw the Real Housewives last night. Now, don't we do like that too, bitch? When we get to work early, or we know we got a fly-ass outfit on, or we know our man don't put our head through the headboard last night and we feel good, baby, we coming there early. Good morning. Hey, girl. We look there. Oh, I got 5 minutes. I'm early. I'm finna stand right here at Shirley desk. Pocketbook and all. Girl, you saw the Real Housewives last night. Girl, that Nene is something else, ain't she? She made it past here yet? She ain't came in yet. I'm gonna be standing right here when she walk in, since she always wanna write me up for being late. Then your boss come walk in 2 or 3 minutes late. Good morning, Karen. Good morning. I like that blouse you got on. The helper wasn't expecting me to be here on time. Girl, where you got that from? Ain't that how we do? Ain't that how we do? That bitch gonna see I was on time this morning. She gonna see I was on time, and they gonna see me high stepping in this outfit. They gonna see me high stepping in my new learner's outfit. I know that's right, baby. That's how you come through when you always late at work. When you always late at work, the one time you do come on time, now you want all the credit. Yes, I want all the credit. I want all the credit for being to work on time. Speaking of on time, guys, the cruise. Y'all don't forget the cruise. The cruise is coming up. We're going to Bimini and Grand Turks. FunkyDineva.com. Go check it out. Also, since
Okay, this is Harry and Meghan. The grift is up as the run out of money, options, and time. This is Paula. Can't pronounce her other name, but she was recommended by Demon Dictator, and let's watch it.
Out what Camilla said about Meghan. Well, folks, late night, 10:15 here in the UK. Sensational revelations tonight. Find out what Camilla said about Meghan. Find out what happened at the Invictus Games in Canada. Find out about the depth of this feud between Harry and his family. Paula, you sent me this clip as it came out. What are some of this is Tom Bower's new book, the new paperback edition of his book, Revenge, which I'm sure many of you will have read. It's a fantastic read the first time out. My God, this new paperback edition. Tell us some of the highlights you've picked out, Paula.
Well, after I scraped my jaw off the floor, I read through as quick as I could. Then I reread and read again the Times of London piece where they are serializing Bower's book. Now, this book comes out in, I would say, March 29th, so in like a week or two. And the best thing about it is they did one serialization today, literally just dropped, and they have 2 more on the way, Tom. I mean, Harry and Meghan must be pulling their hair out, and I'm dying to see how they're going to spin this. So this first serialization was titled Meghan's Brainwashed Harry, Queen Camilla told a friend. I mean, yeah, sucked me right in on that one. I just could not believe it. Some of the other highlights include Prince William's original fears were soon realized that they had, jumped into marriage too soon. Meghan had become a divisive agent. To please her, Harry was ignoring his old friends. He even changed his telephone number without telling his family. The jovial lad about town became possessed by seeking revenge. Increasingly, his character mirrored Meghan's. Emotionally, he veered towards extremes. Simple dislikes became passionate hatred. Meghan's brainwashed Harry, Camilla told a friend.
Yeah, I hear.
Now, Tom, we're going to stop there for a minute and discuss, because you've reported on some of this about how he kind of switched and how William was so worried about this and his friends were worried.
Let me turn down the music.
Yeah, totally. So I reported on friends saying, that William absolutely hates Harry and Meghan, and that they totally blame Meghan. Like that is definitely, they blame Meghan for the change in Harry. The thing about the friends not seeing him is so true. Like, I know there's all these friends of Harry who literally have no contact. A number of the best men at Harry's wedding, I believe only one of them is still in contact with
what?
Yeah, and of course we saw
Demon Dictator does. Yeah, she does a wonderful job. Oh yes, she's awesome. I am so over Meghan and Harry, boring and dumb, making millions. Yeah, but my audience like Meghan and Harry and want to know what's going on. Not like them, but I shouldn't have said like. That's not what I meant. They are curious to see what these two are up to, because they always got some shenanigans going on. Dell. No, Michelle Lee. Let me pull that
footage of Harry wandering around London trying to ring on the doorbells of his old friends, and not even knowing that they'd moved house 2 years before. Carry on, Paula. I think Ben's joined us actually, so hopefully he'll be able to add some pictures up there.
Oh, good. I was going to say, I just dropped in the photo of the book if you want to put it up.
Oh,
That
it was
is
you
a-
who did it. Sorry, I assumed it was.
No, girl, that was me. But you have to put it up because I can't mess with that. So this is the picture of the book that is coming out. I have obviously pre-ordered that immediately. But the thing is, it does strike me. Something is always wrong when somebody becomes so obsessed and subsumed with another person that they basically drop everyone for that. Then again, she's dropped everyone, so I guess he is learning a lot. Now, the next part that I'm obsessed with is that he is isolated and he is terrified about losing his title. So listen to this. At the same time, Harry's troubles have mounted. Isolated from Britain, his charitable activities have become threadbare and his desperation noticeable to many. Ouch. Permanently alienated from William and Kate, Harry was reportedly stunned by his brother's ferocious reaction to revelations about the man now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and his relationship with the convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The unpredicted and unimagined humiliation of Andrew shocked Harry. Rightly, Harry fears that the future King William could remove all of the Sussex's titles and effectively banish him from Britain. Whether Meghan understands the potential consequence of any deliberate aggravation of the Prince and Princess of Wales remains to be seen. Now, what I want to say about this is, remember, I don't know, what was it, a week ago? When from Harry and Meghan's camp came all of this nonsense, like Harry and Meghan knew about it. That's why they left. They were so worried about Prince Andrew, now Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, that they had to leave. And they had to leave and flee to the States. And that was the kind of line being shilled by them. I think Tom Bower pretty much put the bullshit to that one. What do you think?
Yeah, so what I found really interesting about this was that what I heard was that when the first statement came out, so just to cast your mind back to October, right, when King Charles issued basically two statements 2 weeks apart. And the first statement, well, it was actually technically issued by Andrew, but it was issued on Buckingham Palace headed notepaper, and it was issued via the Buckingham Palace network, you know, of their media relationships. And the first statement said, hello, I'm Prince Andrew, and I'm too honourable. So I'm going to give up my titles voluntarily because I'm such a nice chap. I don't want to distract from anything. And I was told that this actually hugely encouraged the Sussexes because it made them think that the titles were completely unremovable unless you agreed to give them up. Do you see what I mean? So initially, what I was told was that their response was one of great joy and rejoicing because Andrew has undoubtedly done, empirically much worse things than they have done, allegedly, sex trafficking, et cetera, et cetera. It's interesting. It's not how it's seen within the royal family, where they prize loyalty above all else. But the point being that at that first statement, they very much had the impression that their titles were completely safe. And then when the second statement came out 2 weeks later, when everybody was so outraged at Charles's pathetic initial attempt at disciplining Andrew, when the second statement came out, and it was just like, I'm issuing new letters patent. And the best way to think of letters patent is it's a bit like an executive presidential order. When the second statement came out saying we are taking the prince off him, that apparently did send them into a massive tailspin because Meghan is actually a princess. She is actually Princess Henry, and he is Prince Henry, obviously Prince Harry. But the children, they've been very, very emphatic about using the Prince and Princess title for Archie and Lilibet. Now, the truth is that they are entitled to call those kids Prince and Princess because they are the grandson of a monarch. But one imagines that when King George V laid down those rules 100 years ago, he wasn't intending that somebody who lived in a republic had a massive falling out with their parent would continue to be called a prince. So I think this is a really fascinating line from this new Tom Bower book, Betrayal. And sorry, just to be clear, I said earlier it was an update of the paperback. It's not. It's a brand new book, Betrayal. And I would say, if you've read Tom Bower's work before, you'll know that it's going to be packed full of sensational revelations. Carry on, Paula. What's the next bit that caught your eye?
All right. Now we're getting into the Invictus games, Tom. All right, let's go back to a 2-screen, Tom, if you don't mind.
Okay.
We get into the Invictus games with Bower basically saying they should be called the Meghan games. No, 2-screen. I don't want just me on. It makes me feel self-conscious. Okay, so here we go. Meghan needed a global stage for genuine admiration and cheering fans. To her good fortune, Harry agreed that she could star at the Invictus Games, which he was about to open in Canada. Just before flying up to Vancouver in a private jet, she alerted her Instagram followers.
Uh-oh.
Now, note the private jet. Here we go. Meghan insists on being called ma'am, and Harry should be called sir, replied Nick Booth, the chief executive of the Games. Booth had been parachuted into the post after the dismissal of 2 Canadian executives. Both had resented the pushy Sussexes, not least their exorbitant expenses for security, accommodation, and a private jet. Unlike Harry's own financial contributions to the Sentabali charity, his lifestyle expenses for Invictus were financed by government and corporate funding of the Games. So Canadian tax dollars basically went to ferry those 2 up to their Games. It's insane. He goes on, in the opinion of the departed Invictus Canadian executives, Meghan was a distraction from the injured veterans. She's bling, not rehabilitation, protested the men. Wow. It also goes on how the opening was this big Katy Perry concert, right? And in the crowd, it was all Katy Perry fans. Not anyone gave a bling about Games, Invictus Games, Wounded Warriors, veterans, nothing. And then Harry and Meghan arrive. They had arrived at the stadium for the opening of the Games, where Katy Perry performed, by car from their hotel's penthouse suite across the street. So they were staying across the street and insisted on a car taking them. Side note here, a friend of mine who had to deal with her when she was in Suits in Canada as well, he was putting on a big photo shoot, and so he set up the Suits cast at a hotel right by the shoot, and Meghan was the only one that insisted on a car taking her from the hotel to the shoot 4 doors down. So familiar behavior. Here we go, going back to the book, guys. Uno momento. So they insisted hotel's penthouse suite across the street, and then they were transferred to an electric golf cart. Filmed by an Archwell cameraman, they were driven through an underground passage lined with hundreds of veterans and volunteers cheering, "Harry, Harry!" The video of the orchestrated welcome was posted on Meghan's Instagram feed. Unexpectedly, more videos about the Sussexes in Vancouver were filtered through to her curated Instagram account. In one video, Meghan thanked the Indigenous peoples for their hospitality on their sacred land. In another, the Sussexes met a group of children. Other videos revealed her outfits: Hermes, Ralph Lauren, Altazura.
Hi, Pickles.
Those were the prelude to the Sussexes' sudden appearance opposite the media box in the stadium. The Meghan Games had been launched.
It's amazing. The thing, I don't know if you remember when Harry lost his court case against the British government.
Yeah.
And he gave this sort of very emotional, tearful interview
to
the BBC. And of course, he said in that, he said, well, of course, I've been spending a lot of time with the native Canadian people, and they've taught me the importance of reconciliation, but you can't have reconciliation without truth. And it was just like, oh my God, are you really comparing your situation to what happened to Native Americans in Canada? It's like,
yes, he is.
It's so unbelievable. The kind of, you know, and I know, I'm sorry, I apologize. I shouldn't, you know, for any of our Native American viewers will know, you know, how outrageous that is.
Yeah,
right?
they should be really pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, the raping and pillaging and stealing that took place of the Native Americans has nothing to do with Harry's entitlement and want of a police escort.
The security detail
paid for by others.
Literally, like, I literally felt you felt like screaming at the telly, Harry, you had an argument about using your lip gloss and who was going to wear. I mean, like, you know, but yeah. And then I don't know if you're going to get to this later, but there's some amazing stuff about Archwell. What, do you want to do that bit next?
Hold
Do you
on.
want to do something else?
Hold
next?
on, we've still got more.
We got more, we got more, we got more.
Invictus Games in Canada was such a shambolic effing mess. So across the street from the Sussex's hotel, the competitors in the empty hangars knew that the world to the Sussex's PR machine. The media chose not to reveal the truth that Invictus's 2,000 yellow-shirted volunteers around the deserted convention center outnumbered paying spectators by 20-1. Just one middle-aged Italian veteran in a wheelchair reappeared constantly, pushing himself around the vast canteen. He was surrounded by the 1,200 members of the competitors' families, all enjoying free food twice daily.
God.
Yeah. All right. This is where we run into Harry and Meghan running out of money. This is part of it.
Yeah.
And then we get into the Archwell boondoggle. So
Okay.
then we'll do this.
Okay.
A few months later, in autumn 2025, the Sussexes faced a harsh reality. The foreign tours in the Invictus competition had been lucrative, yet they were running out of money fast. With high security costs, they needed every year at least $3 million after paying tax to survive. So $5 million.
I mean,
The
it's
Netflix.
actually, if I could just come in there 1 second. I mean, I think Tombo is actually being quite generous there because, I mean, I've seen, you know, estimates of, I mean, and frankly, this is one of these numbers that you can pull out of a hat a bit. You can say, well, the mortgage is this and the security's that and the security's that. And to be honest, I think that's quite a conservative estimate. What's he saying? £3 million?
No, $3 million, 2.25 million pounds.
I mean, that seems to me a very realistic estimate of what you need to survive in Montecito if you want to have a kind of reasonably, you don't want to be, you know, completely shamed by your neighbors.
True. And they do shame their neighbors.
Enough for you or me, Paula.
That's true. That's true. We're quite lucrative. Here we go. The Netflix and Spotify contracts had come to an end. Both Sussexes relied on a dribble of money from Harry's occasional speeches and Meghan's endorsements of fashion brands. No further announcement had been issued about the sale of Meghan's As Ever products. Profits were assumed to be dire, yet a leak suggested that Meghan had sold nearly 1 million pots of jam and produced profits of $30 million. Few thought that was credible. That's true. Now, I also want to bring in something real quickly, Tom, because as we're talking, I'm reminded of the shambolic stories that are flying around. Number one, the latest shambolic story that Meghan's being paid $1 million to do this girls' weekend in Australia. No, everyone.
No.
She is absolutely not.
It's actually ridiculous. And I mean, like, you know, I think we won't name any names, but I think that you know, there's some people who just make stuff up, frankly. And that it's complete nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but the going rate for Meghan is no longer $1 million for a weekend.
It's 50,000. Her and Harry's going rate is 50,000.
Right.
US, which is better than 50,000 Australia because that's around 40,000 US. So, yay. We'll move on. So yes, there's that. They're running out of money.
Also, can I just say, I want to say one other thing. I'm really glad that Tombo brings up that jam pots story because that was the craziest. I mean, in a sense, I have to say, look, PR is PR, and hats off to whoever managed to get that narrative out there that she'd sold $30 million pots of jam. It was literally in the Times of London. It was in all these newspapers, and it was, I won't tire everybody with explaining again the kind of mad Reddit story and the kind of accidental million pots of jam and all of that. But the reality is that to sell $30 million worth of jam, I mean, as Tom Bower says, it's not credible. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
That's all right. We are now going on to your favorite, Archewell. Among the Sussex's costly failures, they realized during...
That was funny. He got all discombobulated and was like, that's okay, I'm sorry, carry on. Oopsie daisy. That's a good question, Debbie. Did you get a ticket? Y'all want to watch it now? Are you talking about in the future, Demon Dictator? When?
2025 was the Archewell Foundation, established by the couple in 2020, having failed to raise any new donations. The accounts filed in December 2025 revealed its income had fallen from 5.3 million to just 2.1 million. That donation, a historic commitment which would not be renewed. More startlingly, Archewell gave away just 1.2 million, mostly in small 27,500 donations, but its expenses were a whopping 3.9 million. There was no explanation of how the Sussexes spent any of that money. I'd like to also point out that the $27.5 thousand donations, there were two. I broke the story to a lovely charity where the woman is a known anti-Zionist, and her brother was responsible for painting the Hitler Jewish stars all around town in Minneapolis. But the Sussexes seem to have a special place in their heart for that kind of people. Mm-hmm. So go on, Tom. Let's talk about Archewell.
Yeah,
because by the way, we all know that charity is the best way to money launder reputation and cash.
Yeah, well, I think what we definitely saw at the end of last year was there was this very dramatic downsizing across their whole organization. Mm-hmm. So, and it all happened at Christmas, which is, again, fair dues to their PR strategy or whatever, when people can't be bothered to, they're too busy eating their turkey to, exactly what crypto fam haze. But even despite that, I mean, it was pretty stunning. So on the 26th of December, they announced that Meredith Maines was leaving. Again, this had been highly planned, as I'm sure you know, Paula.
Yeah. Well, Meredith Maines quit exactly after the entire Kim Kardashian, Kris Kardashian debacle, which I don't blame her.
Yeah, because she was lied to. Because she was lied to. Because she was told that they checked this thing. They checked this. She was told they checked this box. That's why she put that out. That's why she laddered that message across their networks. Like, she wouldn't have. No one's gonna risk their reputation by putting out a blatant lie that could be disproved in 5 seconds. She obviously thought that it was true that they had ticked this box. So she was at best she was got the wrong end of the stick, shall we say? At worst, she was actively misled. So she quit, and then they got rid of James Holt, who had been with them for many years.
Well, got rid of because he was still with them in Jordan, and he'll be with them in Australia.
Hi, Annabelle. It's so good to see you. Hey, everybody, say hello to Annabelle. She come to visit. I was stuffing my face, Annabelle. It's so good to see you. We're just talking about his book and what's in the book. And is Dale going to go see Meghan since she's in Australia?
But he did give them 4 months' notice, to be fair.
Yeah, and there's considerable rumours, of course, that and I think Tom Bower gets into this in the extract. Liam Maguire, who's their head of press, is based in the United Kingdom, which is slightly odd, right? Having your head of PR 8 hours behind you. James Holt is now back in the United Kingdom. And Bower gets into this as well. Harry is trying to create a more receptive environment for himself in the United Kingdom. They've shut down a lot of their operation in the United States, which all seems to be suggesting that, like, to be fair, like many Brits before them, including myself, they come home from America with their tail between their legs, Paula.
There was no tail between your legs. You just wanted to go home, Tom, and I don't blame you. And your wife was like, I'm done with this. Can we get back there now? And you were like, yeah, okay, happy wife, happy life. But we're going to get into that in a minute because, hold on.
More.
Oh, so much more. Hold on. Let me pop this back up. Meghan and Harry want to be reinstated. Wait, is that? Yep, here we go. The Sussexes aimed for nothing less than to be reinstated in London by the King as trusted members of the royal family. The vehicle for their triumphant return would be the Invictus Games to be held in July 2027 in Birmingham. From the outset, Harry had plotted for the King to open the games as the backdrop for Meghan, accompanied by their children to dominate the media. But in choosing Birmingham, Harry had unwittingly exposed himself to unexpected controversy, the toxic reality of a city in turmoil, mired in threats and protest.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he also, again, getting into the Israel-Gaza conflict, the article goes on to say that he invited wounded warriors from Israel, and Birmingham is a huge Muslim population city. There have been rumors that parts of it are under Sharia law. And we can only imagine the protests that would be there. And we know the King hates a protest. He also hates a heckle. And I sincerely doubt at this point that King Charles would show up. Not to mention, I don't think that Harry's got his security back from the British taxpayers, whose minds would probably blow up if he did.
Do you know something? We don't know if he's got security back. They're claiming there's been no decision on it yet. Who knows? Time will tell. I wouldn't be massively surprised if Charles does end up attending the Invictus Game, because Charles' dearest wish is to be reconciled with Harry. And you have to remember that Charles connects with Harry much more than he connects with William. Harry's actually much more like Charles, and William is much more like Queen Elizabeth II, like very sort of steely, very like cut off. And of course, Charles always complained that Elizabeth was so sort of emotionally starving to him that, this gave him this miserable childhood. And then, of course, he had to watch all the attention being lavished on Andrew, which is said to be part of the jealousy thing. And I do not actually. I think that Harry may get Charles to rehabilitate him in the United Kingdom, and I think that Harry is aware that he needs to act before the King dies. There's been a lot of flagging about this thing about the Invictus, about will the King open the Invictus Games, and there has been a notable reluctance from the King's side to dismiss the suggestion. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. However, I'm going back into Tom Bower's words, not yours, Bower. Considering all the damning words and lies spoken and written by the Sussexes against the royal family since 2021, and the enormous damage.
Can you see King Charles going to the Invictus Games to support Harry? Could you see that? They don't have a relationship. Something's wrong with it. And then why would he show up at the Invictus Games? I don't know. You guys tell me.
Damage caused by the Sussexes, exploitation of their royal titles, the chance of the king irritating the Prince and Princess of Wales to please the Sussexes in spring 2026, remote.
Yes.
I mean, this is, you guys, everyone needs to read this, and we all need to buy this book because, oh my God, this is so good. It's so
yeah, I'm
good.
getting a copy.
It's insanity. You know what else is insanity, Tom? The Wall Street Journal. We got to get this one up too, because there are two things in the Wall Street Journal article. So the Wall Street Journal did this piece. It came out on Wednesday, and it was huge piece. A lot of it was stuff that we already knew. However,
it was one of these classic, not to be rude about American journalism, but sometimes American journalism can be, shall we say, quite dry compared to British journalism. It was one of these classic stories with like sort of really long headline, and trying to be very grand and blah, blah, blah. And actually, and he kept saying things like, "We've spoken to over 754 sources," that real thing of like, we've done our homework. And you're like,
right. But it was like inside the rift that could linger for decades.
Yeah.
Jeez, do you freaking think, dudes? It was nuts. So the final line of this whole story made me kind of gag because it was, hold on, let me get there. It's a long ass story in the Wall Street Journal, guys. So you got to give me a hot second. Here we go. I'm going to read the paragraph.
I mean, it's a shocking. It's what we in journalism we call it a kicker, and this is a shocking kicker that Paula is about to read to you.
Here we go. I'm starting with the paragraph and then the kicker. For now, the hidebound traditions of royalty loom over their relationship, Harry and William. Harry remains family and fifth in line to the British throne, but when William becomes king, he will be able to wield power over the Sussexes, including the ability to strip them and their children of their titles if they step out of line or, in an extreme circumstance, removing his brother entirely from the line of succession. Here we go. This is the kicker. And if Harry were ever to remarry, he would have to ask the king to consent first. The Wall Street Journal is bringing up divorce.
Okay, I'll tell you my theory on this. Okay, and tell me if you agree. So I think if you look at that massive headline, right, they wanted to do, obviously.
I think that my thought was, him asking his brother if he can remarry. That's interesting. Oh, hold on. Let's just go back a little bit. I think I forgot my thought because I know I had more to say than that.
Sense, removing his brother entirely from the line of succession. Here we go. This is the kicker.
Removing his titles, removing him from the line of succession. Like, why don't King Charles do that so that William doesn't have to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Meghan and Harry, which we know have done something so nefarious and so bad that they do need their titles removed from them, why won't King Charles do it? Maureen said that if he did, she would have so much respect for him. Charles needs to grow a pair of royal bollocks and disown the ginger parasite. Wow. You're a parasite. Jeez.
And if Harry were ever to remarry, he would have to ask the king to consent first.
Yep.
The Wall Street Journal is bringing up divorce.
Okay, I'll tell you my theory on this. Okay, and tell me if you agree. So I think if you look at that massive headline, right, they wanted to do obviously a huge story with a massive, revelation in it. And I think they probably got a source who said there's trouble in the relationship and, blah, blah, blah. And then I think at the last moment, somebody probably in the Wall Street Journal was like, we can't do this. We don't, I can see it. I've been in that position of it. We're going back and forth to the lawyers. And then they thought, okay, well, what we can do is we can put this line in because that is true. It's not defamatory, But if you understand the context from which it comes, it's clearly saying there is a problem in the relationship. And you only actually have to look at the photograph, actually, funny enough, that I've used for the thumbnail for this story of Harry in Jordan.
Oh boy, yeah.
See that it doesn't take a genius to see that they don't look particularly happy, shall we say. If you talk, I'll try and add that.
Well, here's the deal. I also have been hearing that. Now, yes, I live in New York. Yes, I speak with an American accent, but I also have a British passport. And frankly, I got a lot of good sources. And I know a lot of people in London and England and Ireland, not just Tom. I swear.
Now.
But the deal is, I had actually heard that too after the Jordan trip, that there was some trouble in Paradise Brewing and that Harry was getting irked and annoyed. And they pointed to, there were several times in Jordan where Harry kind of brushed her off because she was always kind of, here, Harry, this way, here, and like guiding him and, grabbing his hand and showing him and taking pole position, if you will. Tom Bauer actually gets into this in his article in his book, in the excerpt in the Times, where he shows how Meghan took control of everything in the Invictus Games, where he was going up to speak, so she kissed him. She always was touching him and made sure she was part of the frame. And it seemed in Jordan that Harry, for the first time in 10 years, is finally being like, I got this.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder, does he really have that I got this kind of attitude? Because Harry just seems weak to me and allows Meghan to walk all over him. So is that Yeah, let's keep going. Demon Dictator says, because he's his father, I don't think he can do it. Yeah, that's true. I stepped away because I'm cooking. I also love it when Demon Dictator is here. I know, she's awesome. Shelly, thank you, honey. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Harry is beaten down. He look it like he just, what's next? And I can't do this alone. Here we go. We're at the end of this.
It's really interesting. I'm sorry, I don't have the technical ability to upload that picture.
I can try to do it.
But it's the picture of Harry with the headphones on, and he's kind of sitting like this, just looking, and you can just see.
Oh no, I don't have that one. I've got another one of him.
But yeah, there's millions of them, and it's really hard to. And I definitely felt that's what the Wall Street Journal. It just felt to me like, having been in that, why would they have talked to 14 sources and made such a big deal of it? That if ultimately all they really have in the story is that he's lonely and isolated and not doing much.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It was a massive. It was like a massive sell at the top of the article. And when you read the article, there was nothing. And then at the end, there's just this super weird, almost like a throwaway line. You can't sue them for that because it is true. Like, and they're not saying he is going to divorce or what have you. But I certainly find it, the other thing that I think is really interesting is that whenever we've seen them in public, right, they're really over the top about how happy they are to be, like the smiles, you know what I mean? And obviously it didn't extend to Jordan. But Harry, when he was in court in England, started basically crying on the stage and saying that his wife's life and his life had been made a misery by what they had gone through. And well done, Paula, brilliant.
Nope, wrong picture.
Wrong picture. Okay, here we go. Yay!
Oh, he looks so unhappy. And by the way, that was his happiest look of the trip, of the photos that they posted themselves.
Yeah.
The donkers.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. It was really.
I was excited by the Wall Street Journal article because I don't know, 8 months earlier, I broke the news on News Nation that Harry was isolated and lonely, and his only friends were his bodyguards. And so then to have the Wall Street Journal then put it in, I was like, thanks, guys. Of course, Page Six had already picked up my stuff and not credited as well. But, you know, it is kind of gratifying to basically have people follow your work and to say, yeah, look, see, I told you so. That last line really shocked me, though. I mean, I obviously had heard it. I wasn't going there because I heard it from one source, who, by the way, excellent source. But on that kind of stuff, I'm just not prepared to put that out there yet on one source. And then for the Wall Street Journal, I was like, boom, oh, my source was right.
But they obviously pulled it at the last minute. I mean, that's the impression I get. Right, any more from this story, or are we done?
Okay, no, we are almost done, but here's the deal, Tom. So I spoke to a source at the Times, because a source, I mean, y'all know I write a column for the Times, right? Like 3 times a month. The Times has 2 more excerpts coming out. And if they are as jaw-dropping as this one, it's like Christmas in March for me. This is insane. Also, all of this stuff is coming out just before Harry and Meghan head to Australia.
Yeah.
Where they are not getting paid $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I am just astounded. Also, my Australian socialite circuit, again, I do know a bunch of Australians. They are agog. The Australian socialite WhatsApps are like, oh my God, who would do this? It's like a Groupon, you know, and they're all freaking out. And people are like, I know, but it's sold out. You're like 300 tickets. Of course, probably half of them are media. Also, by the way, in the Q&A, it's all going to be prepped. So the questions have to be screened. Also, anyone who's going to that hideous event, you know, where it's, let me get this up for you guys as well, because Meghan is clearly trading on her title. She's pulled a full Fergie, all right? And this is the full on for the event. There, Tom, you should have it. Tom can put it up. It's Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, trading on her title to get people to go. And yeah, there are 300 people. People wanted to go. A lot of it was press.
Is that the official trailer?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it's also a very old ass photo from her 6 days, but that's all right. They
doesn't look anything like that anymore.
No. But anywho, they are also screening the candidates. So anyone who wants to go to this girls' weekend is being screened heavily. So of course, you know, it's going to be Sussex squatties. Oh, la la la. We love you. What's the question going to be? How do you stay so amazing? Or another question.
What's the secret of your success?
How do you deal with the haters? Or, you know, just anything else that Jamie Kerr and Lima might have come up with. I mean, it's a gag-o-rama. God bless. God bless. You know. Am I a little jealous? Would I like to go there and just take a gummy and giggle? Yes. Yes, I damn well would. I mean,
let's thank Demon Dictator for that. I feel that Casey walks around like a rat pissing on cartoons. Oh, wow. There's no way I'll live with a ball and chain on my neck. He does not have tough love. Yeah, he needs some tough love. He does. He needs to show Harry and Meghan tough love. I agree. Snowdrop says, Debbie, I am not Scotland now. She's talking to Debbie. See what Marine is talking about at 7:30 p.m. here in UK. And I also wanted to play a video. Who recommended the Drew Lane show? The Drew Lane show. Hold on.
What's the good Meghan Markle news? I'm ready for some. I didn't know she was up to something good.
Now that she's split with Netflix, everybody at Netflix is dishing on her. So Variety, I haven't read the full article, but there's little headlines dripping out here and there. But the big one is Ted Sarandos, you know, the big dog at the CEO of Netflix.
Yeah.
Basically would not talk to her unless his lawyer was present.
Makes sense.
The other one was, I believe that if there was something offensive that she didn't like in a call, she would just hang up. She wouldn't say goodbye. She would just leave. That was her way of getting out of it. So she just sounds spoiled and bratty.
Duchess Wrinkle Pants.
Yeah.
Oh God, what an idiot!
And she just nobody liked her. She was just a tyrant in meetings.
So this is over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did they put out how bad her show did? Were they honest about it?
Yes, they are now.
Okay.
That's coming out now.
Yeah, 1317th, and then the one was the holiday special was like 1500th.
Really?
Yeah.
So the special did worse than the regular show.
Yes. She wasn't the right voice for the holidays and family.
Yeah.
She just wasn't the right person since
Yes.
she hates her husband's family and her family.
But she would take a lot of Zoom meetings, and if she didn't like,
He's right. She's not about family. Meghan is not about family. She hates, they said, his family. And she doesn't like her own. She didn't go visit her father when he was in the Philippines with his leg amputated. Oh my God, my husband brought me some candy home from one of his co-workers. They call it, I don't know what they call it, but it's is it Asian? It has something to do with Ramadan. It's good. Wow, says Michelle Lee. Ladies first and allows it. He's pathetic and does not represent manhood. He doesn't, and he is pathetic. He's a traitor too. I haven't heard that one either, Annabelle. Oh, I missed it. Let's rewind it.
What's the good Meghan Markle news? I'm ready for some. I didn't know she was up to something good.
now that she's split with Netflix, everybody at Netflix is dishing on her. So Variety, I haven't read the full articles, but there's little headlines dripping out here and there. But the big one is Ted Sarandos, the big dog at the CEO of Netflix.
Yeah.
Basically would not talk to her unless his lawyer was present.
That is big news.
Makes sense.
The other one was, I believe that if there was something offensive that she didn't like in a call, she would just hang up. She wouldn't say goodbye. She would just leave. That was her way of getting out of it. So she just sounds spoiled and bratty.
Duchess Wrinkle Pants.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh.
What an idiot.
And she just nobody liked her. She was just a tyrant in meetings.
So this is over, isn't it?
It's gotta be. Did they put out how bad her show did? Were they honest about it?
Yes, they are now.
Okay.
That's coming out now.
Yeah, 1317th, and then the one was the holiday special was like 1500th.
Really?
Yeah.
So the special did worse than the regular show.
Yes. She wasn't the right voice for the holidays and family.
Yeah.
She just wasn't the right person since
Yes.
she hates her husband's family and her family.
But she would take a lot of Zoom meetings, and if she didn't like someone, she would just turn off the camera or disconnect. She also would allegedly talk over or recast Harry's thoughts. Sometimes he'd be in mid
holidays and family.
Yeah.
She just wasn't the right person since
Yes.
she hates her husband.
Put out how bad her show did. Were they honest
Yeah.
about it?
Yes, they are now.
Okay.
That's coming out now.
Yeah, 1317th, and then the one was the holiday special was like 1500th.
Really?
Yeah.
So the special did worse than the regular show.
Yes. She wasn't the right voice for the holidays and family.
Yeah.
She just wasn't the right person since
Yes,
she hates her husband's family and her family.
But she would take a lot of Zoom meetings, and if she didn't like someone, she would just turn off the camera or disconnect. She also would allegedly talk over or recast Harry's thoughts. Sometimes he'd be in mid-sentence. She'd touch his arm or thigh during virtual or in-person meetings with Netflix.
And translate?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
I wish we could have a greatest hits of her going out of the Zooms, like just a montage of all the
they
time she did
recorded
that.
those.
Just
Isn't that
hanging
all
up.
so interesting?
I would love to see that.
Just going, I think it's your personality and her turning off the Zoom. What an awful
Oh.
She's a terrible person.
What?
You should just leave her.
Yeah, he needs to get out of there.
Dude,
really
you can
bad.
get anybody you want.
Like I
True.
was saying yesterday, black bag him and deprogram him.
Yes,
Ship him back
kidnap
to England. He'd be so much better.
Have ICE capture him.
Oh, they should just send him back. He wakes up happy. He's allowed to complete a sentence
in a palace with servants. and
Money
nobody
pouring in,
He's
security everywhere.
Yeah, he gets to boss people around.
Yeah, he has
Instead of
access
being
to the
boss.
family jewels as opposed to the royal jewels, crown jewels, whatever.
She also put out a video on her Instagram.
Oh, good. I can't
that
wait
is
to see
just
this.
getting fucking ripped on because it's laughable. And I ripped it from the Daily Mail. Let me see if I got it up here. There it is. Let me zoom in.
Well, let's be fair about this.
Yes.
Well, once again, I mean, there's nothing much to it other than it's her in her stupid garden. And you'll be excited. You get to see her kid's red hair, not her face.
Oh,
not her face, but her red hair.
Why does she think her kids are so fucking important?
So there's some stupid chickens, and now she's putting together a planter.
It's beautiful.
That's Harry. That's Harry simping by being the Instagram boyfriend who has to film.
Oh.
I mean, have you ever been somewhere where you see a guy filming the chick at
Yes.
all hot? Yeah, that's Harry at this moment.
Oh, there's some classic shots of that.
Harry is whipped.
So pretty in pink is what he said. Now she's flipping through a book of poetry.
Oh no, did she write it?
No. It's one she's reading, of course. But notice how many pages are
Yeah, she
dog-eared.
likes that one.
Like, look at all those dog-eared, poems that are so wonderful, right?
They bloom because of you.
She says, so good at the end. Now, isn't this the person that was selling $45 bookmarks? Couldn't she have flagged them in her book with her
Yes.
stupid bookmarks?
For only $18 a page.
Yeah, well, she's not paying $45 for a bookmark.
Yeah, exactly.
Like some idiot.
Wow.
That she fleeces.
She, by the way, the bookmarks are now $20. She's raised the price from $18.
Cool.
Wow.
Great. A piece of paper is still cheaper.
And she doesn't know how to use it. She puts it in the side of the book,
No.
which I think Beautiful pointed out.
I mean,
that she doesn't know how to use a bookmark.
Honestly,
in there.
who is that content made for?
The bookmarks.
I can't figure it out. I can't imagine why did she expect repeat sales of this stuff, like this tiny thing of jam for way too much. She tripled the price, makes all this packaging with her calligraphy.
Oh yeah, like the $200 marmalade and the candles.
Yeah, the candles, the wickless candles.
I think he's filming it for the jury once he snaps. It's like, let me get your phone while I tell you how good you're doing.
This is what I was forced to do.
The trip to Jordan did a lot of good. That was very
Yeah.
effective.
The Middle East is solved.
Yeah. The war started like 2 days
I know.
later, I think.
Why couldn't she get trapped there?
I know, it'd be so nice.
He's not though. She just gets.
God, is that she's got an article stating that Snowdrop? I would love to read that. Netflix holding Meghan back. Okay. Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle's Netflix has come to an end and reports that she feared her jam brand has been held back. The streaming giant initially partnered with Meghan Markle's business venture as ever. When it launched last year with offerings that also included rose wine and flower sprinkles. Wow. Sorry, I got off my spot. However, the Duchess Netflix show With Love Meghan failed to crack the top 1,000 most watched programs on the platform. The second installment of With Love Meghan was the 1,124th most watched show between July and December of 2025, and two other, excuse me, wait a minute. With 2 million viewers. 2 million viewers. Insiders claim to The Sun that the Duchess was relieved to be able to go it alone, not with as ever, and launching it as a global brand after featuring it. It's not global. It was being held back by the caution streamer. Oh, snap and crackle and pop. She was being held back. Wow. She will blame you. It was the streaming giant's fault. They were holding me back. I couldn't reach my full potential. Just lying. Anyway, I looked that up. Let's go back. See what these gentlemen else have to say about Megadu.
It's trapped.
Yeah, he's running to the plane.
He claims asylum from her.
Asylum in Jordan.
Yes.
Wow.
Just to get away
You
from
just see
her.
him not lock a door in an SUV, not unlock it.
You know what's so weird though is why does Jordan and Colombia and where would she go in Africa? Where'd they go? I mean, they were really bummed when they left. Like, oh my God, that was so much work. We had to, kiss their ass for 2 days. Why do these countries do that? Why don't they just get off of the plane with no one greeting them?
They
It's
should.
just like, you're on your own, asshole.
Yeah, good luck getting around Jordan.
Yeah.
On your intuition.
Yeah,
Wasn't that one of the shithole countries? I can't remember if that was on the list or not.
Yeah, I don't understand what Jordan gets out of. What does Colombia get out of it?
Nigeria. That's where they went. And she said, I'm 43% Nigerian. She had just done her 23 or
23
or 23 in me.
I'm 43% Nigerian.
I'm just like you.
Wow. Just enough to still have ginger babies.
Yeah. Don't suggest that she had those babies if we put this up on YouTube because, oh my God, YouTube will go ballistic. They insist she did not bear those children.
It doesn't look like she did.
It doesn't. I mean, the kids, obviously, at first glance, they appear to be African American. Yeah. Well, actually, no, they don't really at all, do they? Red hair. No. But, she's so African American that there was all this racism in the UK because people just said, wow, who's that black woman he's dating? They didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
And even though she's completely white, people apparently thought she was black.
Yeah, men hate that tan skin and a good-looking woman.
They do.
Yeah, they were really appalled by her. And then she got to live in a palace. It was really rough on her.
Because not many people have asked if I'm okay.
That's when I knew.
Yeah.
That's the moment I knew when she said, when just a cameraman saw that she
That was my moment too.
was like, are you okay? Yeah. Nobody's really asked if I'm okay.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
Like, really? Because I saw a butler refill your drink 6 times. But okay.
She has to be a victim.
No, I'm glad they're having another good day.
No one asks how I am. Yes,
I
yes, they
know.
do.
Yeah, you're royalty. People do ask.
It's their
Harry
job.
asks every time you're sobbing over the bridesmaids' dresses. He probably asks. Oh, God.
Because not many people have asked if I'm okay.
Catherine made me cry. I didn't make her cry. I can't believe Oprah sat through that.
What?
Oh my God.
It's been so hard for you.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to war for a second or try to?
Yeah, he flew choppers. Yeah.
Yeah. Not like a real one.
No, he'll tell you every time he gets a chance.
But Andrew was in that super intense, that tight
Balkans?
battle with the Grenada. Was it
Oh,
Grenada?
Andrew, that's right. Yeah,
Or was
that's
it the
where
Balkans?
yeah,
the
that's,
Falklands. That's right. Yeah, that was
that's where he lost his ability to sweat.
I was just going to say, was this before or after the sweat?
That's what caused it.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't sweat.
No,
He was-
unless you count the pictures where he's sweating.
Yeah, there were lots of them too. They were all over the place.
Worst excuse.
I can't sweat.
I can't sweat.
As if that would just settle it. Oh, well, it's settled.
Oh.
Obviously, you didn't bang the 17-year-old, and that's not you in the picture. On the second floor of Ghislaine Maxwell's condo.
Yeah. All these phone records must be wrong then, because you can't sweat. By the way, you're sweating.
He had his arm around her, and he actually planted it. Oh, those fingers look too fat. Really?
Yeah, clearly photoshopped.
Oh, okay. That didn't work out very well. There's a movie about that interview, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's really good. Yeah.
What is it?
Is it called Scoop? I think. And Jillian Michaels is in. Not Jillian.
Frost
Michaels, Jillian
Andrew.
Anderson.
It's like a 20-minute interview or something. They made a movie out of it. Yeah, I heard it was really good.
And how they landed the interview with Andrew, and they were even surprised like he's going to do it. All right, because everybody told him not to do the interview, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Andrew. I can do this.
I got this.
Yeah, run out of it." And you know what? He nailed it. He really did crush it.
I always love when somebody's like, I have nothing to hide when they have everything to hide.
I have nothing to hide but everything.
And Mark, you're right. It is Scoop. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, Gillian Anderson's in it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who Gillian Anderson plays. Probably the interviewer.
I think the interviewer. Yeah,
I'd watch that.
It's good. I recommend it.
Yes, hello, Royalists. It's Tom and Paula here. Welcome. We are so happy to have you here today. I made a massive miscalculation yesterday and launched my new podcast on St. Patrick's Day, which just goes to show that although I may have moved to Ireland 20 years ago, I'm obviously still not really properly Irish. Unlike our producer, Ben, who was at the St. Patrick's Day parade in Dublin and sent me some rather amusing photos. Can we see them, Ben?
I just love that. I love that Ben survived because it's pretty scary out there at St. Patrick's Day parades. I know we had one in New York and lots of hooligans, if you will.
Lots of hooliganism. And as you can see, that massive teapot being carried down Dame Street, I think, in Dublin.
I feel like that started over. Okay, we're going to move on from that. Hi, Polo. Welcome. Welcome. What happened to the other video? Okay, hold on just a sec. Okay, wait. It's weird to do. Okay. I do apologize. That was quick. That was only 9 minutes. Then
A good-looking woman.
They do.
Yeah, they were really appalled by her. And then she got to live in a palace. It was really rough on her.
Because not many people have asked if I'm okay.
That's when I knew.
Yeah.
That's the moment I knew when she said, when just a cameraman saw it, she was like,
that's when I knew.
"Are you okay?"
That is when I
Nobody's
knew.
really asked if I'm okay.
I just don't want to be alive anymore.
That is when I knew there was something wrong. I talked about it the other day. I said, there's something wrong with Meghan. To say, no one's asked me how I'm doing. And she had just got married and just had a baby. And I'm like, you should be, you should be full of happiness. But of course she wasn't. And so she deliberately separated her husband from his family, his brother and his father and his grandmother. It was very sad. Okay, Demon Dictator. That would be great to see. Well, guys, listen. I've been on here 3 hours. Let's shut it down. And I'll be back, okay? I'll be back with some more Meghan stuff. How about that? Unless you want to wait and see the video that Demon Dictator is going to send me. Wow, Meghan's in some trouble. Her popularity is done. People don't like her. This book has come out and shame them. Wait, and the book ain't even out yet, and we're already on. Camilla says she brainwashed Harry. I mean, it's some serious stuff going down. This is not going to make Prince Harry and Meghan look good in the slightest. The bad part about it is, ain't nothing they can do about it. They can't sue Tom Bauer. God, I want us to go through his book together. I'm thinking I can have my Kindle right here and then we can listen to the book, right? What do you guys think? I could have it on my Kindle and then he could be talking and then I won't have his face or nothing like that. It'll just be audio. Yeah, we're going to do that. If that's what you guys want to do. Hi, Lee. Demon Dictator said, she sent it to me. Okay, I'm checking a Demon Dictator. Okay, here we go. Huh.
What do you make of this arrest? Are you surprised?
I'm not actually massively surprised. I kind of felt like last week, 10 days ago, when Charles made the statement saying that he supported the police inquiry. It seems to me then quite hard. How do you get to a place then where he doesn't get arrested, where there's...
All right, here we go. We're going to watch this. You think I would get a copyright strike if I play it on my phone like this? Like, I'm going to do it like this.
Like, all this really obvious evidence of him committing crimes all over these emails. So I'm not massively surprised.
So it's like, it'll be like that. It won't be like, on the screen or anything like that. Yeah. Oh, we're finna do one more skit thing here. Well, hello, Heather from the hood. Hello. It's been so long since we've seen you. It's so good to see you. I don't think he has a choice if I'm playing it on my phone and you guys happen to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do. You think? Yeah, I can even put the video on we can put it on members only. Oh, is that how I should do it? I am well. I hope you are too, Heather. It's so good to see you. Put some hearts in the chat for Heather, guys.
Anymore. Like, really? Because I saw a butler refill your drink 6 times. But okay.
She has to be a victim.
No, I'm glad they're having another good day.
No one asks how I am. Yes,
I
yes,
know.
they do.
Yeah, you're royalty. People do ask.
It's their
Harry
job.
asks, every time you're sobbing over the bridesmaids' dresses, he probably asks.
Right.
Oh, God.
Because not many people have asked if I'm okay.
Catherine made me cry. I didn't make her cry. I can't believe Oprah sat through that. Went,
what?
Oh, my God.
It must have been so hard for you.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to war for a second or try to?
Yeah, he flew choppers.
Yeah. Not like a real one.
No, he'll tell you every time he gets a chance.
But Andrew was in that super intense, that tight
Balkans?
battle with the Grenada. Was it Grenada?
Andrew, that's right. Yeah,
Oh, was
that's
it the
where
Balkans?
yeah,
The Falklands. That's right. Yeah, that was
that's where he lost his ability to sweat.
I was just going to say, was this before or after the sweat?
That's what caused it.
Yeah, that's why he couldn't sweat.
No, unless you count the pictures where he's sweating.
Yeah, there were lots of them too. They were all over the place.
Worst excuse.
I can't sweat.
I can't sweat.
As if that would just settle it. Oh, well, it's settled.
Oh.
Obviously, you didn't bang the 17-year-old, and that's not you in the picture. On the second floor of Ghislaine Maxwell's condo.
Yeah, all these phone records must be wrong then, because you can't sweat. By the way, you're sweating.
He had his arm around her, and he actually planted it. Oh, those fingers look too fat. Really?
Yeah, clearly photoshopped.
Oh, okay. That didn't work out very well.
Okay.
There's a movie about that interview, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's really good. Yeah.
What is it?
I think, is it called Scoop? I think, and Jillian Michaels is in. Not Jillian.
Frost
Gillian
Andrew.
Anderson.
It's like a 20-minute interview or something. They made a movie out of it. Yeah, I heard it was really good.
And how they landed the interview with Andrew, and they were even surprised that he's going to do it. All right. Because
Andrew got slaughtered in that interview. Okay. Now, this is a moment where Lauren gets checked by Sky, I believe.
Regarding Andrew, I think he should be treated like everybody else.
There's still. Hold on a sec.
What do you make of this arrest? Are you surprised?
I'm not actually massively surprised. I kind of felt like last week, 10 days ago, when Charles made the statement saying that he supported a police inquiry. It seems to me then quite hard. How do you get to a place then where he doesn't get arrested, where there's like just all this really obvious evidence of him committing crimes all over these emails? So I'm not massively surprised. I did something last night. There was a report the National Crime Agency issued a statement saying that they had got involved. That to me was a very clear sign that we were moving towards an arrest. I'm actually rather proud to be British today. I think it's a fine and wonderful thing that Prince Andrew is sitting in a police cell with a metal toilet bowl kicking his heels, wondering what the hell happened to his life. I obviously it's shameful what's happened, and our deepest thoughts and sympathies, as the King himself has said, with the victims of any sex trafficking that took place. That said, at least our country, unlike those useless, corrupt administration in the US, at least we are bringing people to justice. People are losing their jobs. People are getting fired from their positions. And today, you know what? We arrested a prince. And that's bloody good news in my book, Lauren.
I mean, I wish I shared your enthusiasm with it. I think I come from the point of view that there's been so much evidence before now. So this is what my problem is. This is where I think, oh, it's performative. Ultimately, selling his house for £3 million over the asking price in Sunningdale. Why was he not investigated for money laundering? What will happen with Sarah Ferguson, do you think?
Well, the rumor is that Sarah's holed up in the UAE with one of her former advisors, who has denied to me that she is there, but that is the rumor that I am told, that she is there. I don't think she'll be in a rush to come back to the United Kingdom. I think it's different for her. I think that if she is a fugitive from justice, I think that is less on the King's docket than if his brother is. I don't see her nipping on the plane back to Heathrow anytime soon. Do you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think also Beatrice and Eugenie, I mean, half of people think it's not their fault. They've been dragged into it. Their parents have evidently put them in a difficult position. The other half of people think, well, they've accepted money from various people. They have abused their positions and their soft power. Where do you stand on this argument?
Well, I think that what has to happen now,
they believed it. Let's see what he says.
Now is that a decisive break has to be made with the entire House of York, and I think that William has been pushing for this for a long time, and I think that it does now have to happen. Like the royals, in one sense, are really lucky, Lauren, right? That they have this ultimate parachute, get out of jail free card, which is abdication. And
they've already
we could well be on the path to abdication. I think it's no longer without the bounds of possibility. But I think even if we do not end up with a full abdication, I think that it needs to be made very clear that William is taking over the day-to-day running of the monarchy. I'm a great fan of Charles as a person. I think he's a humane and kind, and you'll never meet anyone who's worked with Charles who has anything other to say to him other than, my God, it was amazing. He just turned up. He'd read everything. He knew everything. He blah, blah. All that said, unfortunately, the job of running the monarchy has clearly proved beyond him. And the monarchy is in a disastrous state 3.5 years after he took over. It's an absolute mess. It's a complete mess. And it's all of his making, I'm afraid. It's not the Queen's fault. I understand that Queen Elizabeth was indulgent towards Andrew and all that stuff. And, but look, the house sale in Sunningdale, I completely agree with you. It was very clear evidence of corruption. It was very clear evidence of corruption. But it was it was a long time ago. And B, the Queen's dead. So it's a bit late to start going after her now for it.
Charles was very much alive in 2022 when he signed off $14 million payment to Virginia Giuffre. So rather than worrying about trying to, catch up with people who are long dead, and frankly, it's going to be very hard to prove anything against them, I think we need to focus on what is actually happening and what can actually be proved. And whilst I agree with you that it is very, very late what is happening now, I just say, let's just give them 5 minutes and see if it is too little, because it might be too late, but it might not be too little. We could end up with Andrew in jail, which I think, even Charles's harshest critics, they could say it's too late, but I think they'd be struggling to say it's too little.
We've seen the narratives come out about King Charles's health is now suddenly bad, when in December we were told that he was doing really well. Do you think that the palace are scrambling for PR angles, or do you genuinely think his health has taken a turn for the worse?
I think as anyone, we've all had friends and family with cancer, and things change really fast for the better and for the worse. You have good days and you have bad days. I don't think that Charles's health is being spun as a story to make us feel more sorry for him. If anything, the palace just endlessly say how marvelously fit and healthy he is. They never say anything about, oh, well, he's doing badly or anything like that. So I would dispute that the palace are trying to engender sympathy for the king by saying he's terribly ill. I think what could happen is that he could step down or take a back seat on the grounds of illness, which I think, would not only be very good cover, but would also actually have the advantage of actually being true. I mean, he's clearly, if you're going through cancer and it's incurable and you're at the end of your life, like, you shouldn't be dealing with your alleged pedophile brother and your renegade sons, causing trouble. If that was any normal person, your doctor would get your wife and they'd say to your wife, listen, do you know what? He needs to take a step back. He needs to be protected from all this stuff. He needs to focus on his health so that the last few years can be as good as they possibly can be. Now, Charles might say, well, all I want to do with my last few years is carry on being king, so I'm going to carry on. That's up to him. But the reality is he's completely mishandled. It's been a disaster. His reign has been a disaster. I'm sorry. There's no other way of putting it. It's just very, very obvious now.
I totally agree with you. And I wanted to ask you, so Meghan Markle knew Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend. She was pictured with Karina on a yacht. There are numerous pictures going around. Radio silence from the mainstream media.
I don't know anything about that story. I don't know anything about it, Lauren. I don't know anything about it. It's not in my wheelhouse. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think there are much more serious things to be concerned about right now than whether or not Meghan did or didn't hang out with someone who may or may not have known Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sorry.
Well, Karina,
I think it's a massive distraction. And I think that today, Prince Andrew has just been arrested for corruption in public office. Gordon Brown has submitted a 5-page memo accusing him of trafficking, of being involved in a sex trafficking ring. That's what's going on today. That's so I don't know anything about
let me give you some context.
As far as I can tell, a lot of these allegations about Meghan Markle, it's very hard to trust photographs and videos these days that appear. They can be modified by AI. They can be this, they can be that, and the other. This is on the record. This is his emails. Saying,
So that's why.
David, here's the Iceland bank. Here's the Iceland bank.
So in the emails, Meghan Markle is named as someone that someone wanted to call as a witness. But regarding Karina, Epstein's girlfriend, they dated from 2009 to 2019. Karina was a dentist. There are allegations coming out that, and this is from the files, I've seen it, that Karina was pulling children's teeth out. So we're not just talking about, I'm not interested in Meghan Markle wearing a Chanel skirt. I don't care about that. My commitment on my channel is always about justice for the everyday person. So actually, I come at this from the point of how are all of these elites interconnected? Because yes, I absolutely agree with you that today is a monumental day. But the very fact we're saying it's a monumental day shows us how bad the power structure is, right? How much people are like us all.
I thought
our expectations are low. We're
himself.
genuinely shocked that Prince Andrew has been arrested. That says a lot about two-tier.
Powerful people have always got away with shit. What can I tell you?
Yeah. Do you think that King Charles is going to be paying for a lawyer for Andrew? Because it's all one thing saying, you know, we want the law to deal with him, but do we think that Andrew's going to be dealing with what's the lawyer you get for
Andrew,
free?
be very careful. Good news, Gary. I think Charles will be very careful not to be. I think Good News Gary will be very. Gary Bloxham is this lawyer who famously was Andrew's solicitor for years. It was always called Good News Gary because it was marvelous, sir. It was absolutely wonderful, tip-top performance. Everything's going according to plan. No, there's no way that Charles is going to be as foolish as to be paying Andrew's legal fees. I wouldn't have thought. I would have thought that would be a very clear way to incriminate himself.
It's unbelievable as well with the depth of what's come out within the Epstein files. And Andrew Loney, you know, he's done such incredible work, and he has gone up against the elites and the royals that have smeared his name using the access they have to PRs and everything like that. It made me think we need to go back in time and re-listen to Andrew, because when Andrew said that Andrew would end up behind bars, I just didn't believe it. Do you think there is worse to come?
Yeah, I do, because I think that...
Yes, I do too. Guys, I don't want to keep you any longer. We've been on here a while. Love you guys. I'll be back this afternoon. How about that? Okay. Okay, wait. I'm about to miss the best part. Hold up, wait a minute. We got to stay a little longer. Don't leave yet. Hold on. I mean, it's the best part. Don't miss the best part. Okay, here we go.
At the moment, what we've seen so far, right, has been unearthed by journalists, okay, who are employed by newspapers and are being paid to go through this stuff. So they're only being paid as long as it turns up a story that generates traffic or clicks or whatever you want to call it, right, or engagement of some form or the other. The police don't have the profit motive, right? They are just going to sit down now and they're going to go through every single file that has been released. That's the complete difference now. So yes, much worse stuff is going to come out. As we've seen, if I'm sure you've spent some time on the interface, it's kind of amazing in one way, because you can just type in a name, or you can just think of, you know, other pseudonyms or whatever, and you can type them in. but it's very, very hard to get your head around how to search within the documents and within the images. And that's why, people are probably confused, going, why did it take so long for this image of him crouching over this? Because it's actually quite hard, because the images you kind of have to go through manually. I know there are people working on trying to, sort of index the files, and that is happening, and obviously advances in AI and stuff are making that possible. But the difference is that the police now, on public money, right, are going to sit there and go through them all. They're not under pressure from their editor going, have you found anything? If you haven't found anything, bugger off down to Sandringham and go and stand in the rain, and wait for Andrew to come out. So I definitely, I think an enormous more amount is going to come out. Absolutely. Yeah.
We've seen allegations come out regarding a child that was tortured, allegedly taken to Frogmore. The allegations, yes, they are unproven, but they are deeply concerning. Have you ever, in the royal circles, heard stories, allegations that align with anything?
You're alleging that a child was taken to Frogmore House and tortured?
Tom, this is in the files. I've spent the last 2 weeks going through these files until
here it is right here. Did you hear what she said? A little girl was taken to Frogmore Cottage. What is she talking about? Uh-oh. Here we go.
2 a.m. every night.
I'm glad you've done your homework. I mean, sorry.
I mean, no. I take this really seriously, right? Because if I'm talking about,
I think that's a very serious allegation that you're making. You're saying that in the Epstein files, there is an account of a child being tortured at Frogmore House.
No. Right. The allegations are from a child that was the Surrey police lost the evidence. Have you not seen this? Yeah, I broke it a week or two ago. The Express finally broke it last night. So there have been allegations come out within these files that are, yes, they are unproven, but Surrey police couldn't find any evidence. So it just looks like a cover up. But there are these stories in the files. Have you really not seen them?
No, I haven't seen them.
Okay, so 100%.
There are plenty of unfounded allegations in these files. As I said, there are 3 million documents. There are 3 million documents in these files. So it's all very well to pick up. There is enough stuff in there without, frankly, these wild allegations that undermine the credibility of the whole thing.
But
if you're seriously alleging that
Tom, I'm going to get it now. Hold the line, because I would never talk about something that the only things I have put on my YouTube or my ex are only things where I have personally taken it off of the files, because I understand that there is so much misinformation. So I just wouldn't, that's why I've
well, get it.
Gone through it. Right. Hang on. I need to check this is the right one. Right, here we go.
Look how he looking.
This is the FBI document.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm seeing it now. Okay, so this is an allegation. The child claims they were restrained on the table, tortured with electrical shocks by Maxwell. Allegations are not proven. Surrey police said it had no record of them being reported to the police before. Following a review of our systems using limited, we can find no evidence these allegations have been reported to Surrey police. We are engaging with the agencies to obtain access to redacted information. We take the allegations very seriously. I mean, I feel, Lauren, I genuinely feel that what is actually happening today is happening in front of our eyes, is proven. Maybe there were sex abuse parties at Andrew's house where Ghislaine Maxwell tortured people with electric shocks on tables. I find it unlikely, but maybe that is the case. But what I think is so interesting about what is happening today is that what Andrew is being prosecuted on, and Andrew Loney has always said this, that it was going to be much easier to get Andrew for the financial crimes because it's happening in front of our eyes, because they were sending these emails back and forth because Andrew was so arrogant and so entitled that he thought his emails were completely immune from freedom of information because he's the royal. So he is literally there hassling members of the government saying, get me the latest files on the Bank of Scotland or this, that, or the other, and then sending them on to people and going, do you know what? You might want to take a look at these before you make your move. You know, it's pretty.
So this is huge. There's no doubt about it. But within these files, okay, there are the top level people at the World Economic Forum that are all part of this with Epstein. And again, I've gone through those emails. This trafficking ring. Let's also now he's being investigated for these crimes within office. Let's actually use our platforms now and say, right, well, what's the next one? The next one is allegedly trafficking girls to the palaces. How did this happen?
And I think that's what Gordon Brown is saying. And I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to go in about 5 minutes. So, because I've got another thing at 25 past. But I think that's exactly what Gordon Brown is saying, right? In this 5-page memo that he submitted to the police today. You know, he obviously does have really good information. He was the blooming prime minister, right? So he's got this information, and he is very focused on the sex trafficking of women. But I think that there has to be a point where we have to say, what can we prove in here? What can stand up in a court of law? And I think it's amazing that Gordon Brown is advocating for those women. You know, a lot of this happened because Gordon Brown wrote that article in The Spectator saying that 90 women had been trafficked through Stansted Airport. Like, that is the reason that a lot of what is happening today is happening. It's partly because the king said that he wanted an investigation of Andrew to happen, and it's partly because of Gordon Brown saying that this needed to happen. And Gordon Brown, like yourself, Lauren, and I do not take away from anybody advocating for victims of abuse, like yourself, is very focused on the trafficking flights through Stansted Airport because they can be logged. They can be tracked. They can be proved in a way that, frankly, you know, that story about the person who claimed they were being electrocuted on the table at Frogmore, it's one person's claim. As you say, if you've been through all these 3 million folders, I mean, good luck to you. But as you know,
no, look, I haven't.
Of extraordinary allegations.
You're not getting along.
I've not been through all of them, but when I understand, look, there are allegations left, right, and centre, but we're also looking at allegations that haven't been proven. But the authorities have had this information for years, and there was only John-Luc Brunel and Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein in prison. So we know the DOJ cut a deal to redact some of the co-conspirators' details. So I just believe that actually we can't go down the route of we can only look at things that are proven in a court of law, because this law is not fair. It's not the same law. So yes, this is fantastic that Andrew has been arrested. But let's look at, okay, why were the palace able to leverage their power to try and discredit Virginia Giuffre, who made the decision for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to sit in Buckingham Palace and lie to the nation? Who paid for the settlement for Virginia Giuffre? Who has used their position? Is a very,
very valid question. And we know who paid for it. Charles paid for it. Because Charles was running the monarchy. So this whole effort to blame the Queen, that it was all the Queen's fault, that the Queen signed off on it, that Charles had no idea what was going on, you know, and that the Queen secretly knew everything that was going on, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure the Queen did turn a blind eye. I'm sure she did. But she's dead. She's gone. It's over. Like, you can't hold a dead person to account. Charles is here. And he's not just here. He's the king. Okay? And in 2022... he signed off an agreement giving $14 million to Virginia Giuffre to buy her silence. So right now, all I'm saying is Let's just stay focused on that, because that's what's happening right in front of our eyes. And yes, plenty of people, plenty of powerful people colluded in the most disgusting ways to abuse and intimidate and terrify women and children. It would appear were involved in this as well. But what actually was the king's role? Did the king cover up? Because if the king did cover up Andrew's crimes, then the monarchy is in serious, serious trouble, bigger trouble than in either of our lifetimes, I'm sure of it.
Just your final question before you go. How do you think King Charles will be sleeping tonight? Do you think he is nervous? Because, like you say, if there are things whereby we haven't been told the truth, King Charles is in huge, huge trouble, and we've now got authorities involved.
I think there's just complete despair at every level. We're going to see him actually shortly. He's due to go to London Fashion Week.
Don't know that.
So we are actually going to see him shortly. So it is going. We've seen Camilla already today, looking very drawn and unhappy. It's the worst situation. He has presided over the worst reign in my memory. Well, obviously my memory only encompasses Queen Elizabeth II, but this is more serious than the abdication crisis of 1936. Ooh. This is a bigger deal because that involved one man who, as you chose to saw it, either followed his heart or was a big baby, or however you want to describe it. This is about institutional corruption, and you're right on that level, Lauren. Lots of people colluded to cover this up. The question is, was one of those people the king?
Well, I would say without a doubt, it's normalized. It's how they operate. It's certainly taken the heat off King Charles for his Ramadan and Christian post, hasn't it? Yesterday, the internet went into meltdown, and now he thought his day was bad yesterday. Crikey, today just poses more and more problems. But Tom, as always, thank you for your time. And the Royalist you can check out on Substack or Tom's channel on YouTube. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Lauren. It's great to be here. Bye.
All right, guys. Hold up. Wait a minute.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody out there is having a great day, and we are jam-packed today. So we had elections last night. They didn't go great. They didn't go like horrific, but they definitely didn't go great. We have Kat Abu-Ghazaleh lost. She lost to a guy by the name of Daniel Biss. Now, the positive news is the AIPAC candidate, Laura Fine, they spent like $9 million trying to get her elected, and she finished third behind both Kat and Daniel Biss. But of course, what people are pointing out this morning is that you had other lefty candidates who insisted on staying in and, in theory, taking more votes from Kat. And if you do the math on it, if those people's voters voted for Kat instead of them, Kat could have won. So you got a lot of people this morning, like, humanist.
All right. Thank you, Demon Dictator. I hope you feel better too, Cece. Sorry you're not feeling well today, lovely. I do apologize. But I love everyone, each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 3.5 hours, guys. Whoa, there we go. Yes, yes, yes. Today, honey, do you want anything from Walmart? I got me some candy. Love you guys.